it's going to be great to see those two guys crack heads today and see the talent we've got on both sides take it apart with some tactics.
Exactly right. Two special comments, two of the best in the eastern suburb. One of those is Brett Beston. Welcome to you, Brett.
I think you're going to say two of the best couldn't be here, so we've got these other two.
Yeah.
Well, mate, yourself.
Going great, and he's been around the eastern suburbs for a long time. Very passionate Vermont supporter. Good afternoon to you, Wayne Barasha.
Good afternoon, Gus. Good afternoon, listeners. Absolute mouth-watering contest on offer this afternoon.
Really looking forward to the special Anzac Appeal Round clash. Obviously, there is a game in Division 3 underway already, an earlier start for Park Orchards and Templestowe. If you have any live scores, please tweet us at Footy EFL. Gents, I reckon we're about 5 minutes away from the ball-up. Let's go through the van and get your tips. For me, I'm going for Scoresby. What about yourself, Joshy?
I like the look of Boronia here at home. I think you can't back him after such a superb victory last week, should I say, sorry. They're building towards something special this season. We know Ray Bairds hyped them up quite a lot in the off-season, so it's going to be great to see these guys in the flesh for the first time in 2017, and I think at home they play this deck so well. It is a very hard ground to play on at times, and the home ground advantage, I think, at this ground is one of the most important in the AFL. So I'm going to tip the Hawks by about 20 points today.
Brash?
Look, when I was asked to do this game, Gus, I was absolutely delighted to do so because it's going to be two up-and-coming sides who I think are going to shape the finals this year. I've been bullish on Boronia now for the last 12 months after the change of coach and the reinvigoration of the playing unit. I'm going to tip Boronia this afternoon, but I don't think the margin will be. I'm thinking only about 2 goals.
And what about yourself, Brett?
Yeah, I'm going for Boronia too. Big fan of Pete Browns. He's a terrific coach, and they've got a great side. They've got the two big men up forward, of course. I think Henderson will have a good day on the ruck. Rapisada's terrific up there in the forward line, and I think in the middle, the likes of Bolton and Godwin will dominate, and I think they will get up. It'll be probably 2 or 3 goals.
Now, interesting one here, Joshy. I think I saw Wade McConnon warming up for the Scoresby. He's not on our team sheet, so we will have to look out there and find out what number he is. It's pretty hard to miss his big lead tattoos, but he'll be a great addition coming back to the footy club after spending some time in Division 1 with Vermont.
He'd be superb if he could come in today. Tell you what also looks good out there, Boronia, I believe, have got one of those special Anzac Day jumpers, slightly different. Got the bit of an old school sort of Hawthorn look with the yellow V and the brown undercolour. And there it is, if you're watching live, of course, on the AFL website. You can see it on your screens. It looks very nice, Brash.
Yeah, look, I've actually got Wade McConnon down as number 55 if he's in that jumper. So they officially have listed him as number 55, but that could be a change.
We'll send our media manager out. He's got a bit of a Blues Brothers feel as Dan Sensick today. He's got the nice jet black glasses. He's got the very suave tie. He's looking quite good. He's going to do some little scouting out for us there, Gussie.
I just have spotted Wade McConnon in the 55, so he's going to make a very handy addition. Speaking of the Blues Brothers, you just saw him on screen, the new media manager, Dan Sensick. As we turn our attention now to the pre-game ceremonies, obviously we'll hear the national anthem and the last post. But boys, what are you excited most about today?
Excited to see these young players in Division 3 football. I think in this level of football they can certainly make the top 5 or 6 players up at this side. There's some good ones in both ends, but this is always a special moment here, Gussie. As a player yesterday, getting to see the last post, spine tingling, we'll join it in here now.
Please rise for 1 minute silence and remain standing until the completion of the playing of the national
Something really special about the Anzac Day ceremonies, Josh, isn't it? Nothing gets you more pumped up than hearing the Australian national anthem belted out.
Oh, and hearing the last post play, it brings tingles up the back of your spine, and as any player would know, there's no more special weekend or day in Australian history than Anzac Day. I think it's well respected and remembered across all local football. It's great to see that happen here. There was silence across Tormore Reserve, and both sides make their way towards the huddle with a bit of fighting spirit now behind them for the day.
One thing I really like about the Anzac Day ceremonies in local football is it's not just the team that's playing in the huddle. They get the whole club out together, reserves, seniors,
Correct,
water boys,
yes.
president, everyone's involved. It's a real club feel, isn't it, Brash?
It is, and you've all hit the nail on the head. It's one of the most significant days in Australian history where we remember the fallen, and you know, we wouldn't be sitting here or standing here talking about local football if it wasn't for those Anzacs.
Exactly right, boys. As the teams get ready to head out to their final positions, any last thoughts from you boys? I'm expecting a best on ground performance from Wade McConnell today, and I reckon he's going to beat 3 or 4 goals. What about yourself, Josh?
Oh, he could turn it up. I think the most important thing out here is going to be the start. It's quite warm conditions, as we said. It's about 23, 24 degrees at ground level, which is going to mean for a very fast contest. We heard Brent King speak before the game that Scoresby have really planned to set a lot more of a contested game plan, hard at the ball, lock it in. So Scoresby going to have to be good with their kicks, but like I said, this home ground, it's a tricky one to play at. We've seen Division 2 sides in the past in finals come out and really struggle to contain themselves across these wide wings. So if Scoresby can get their foot skills right over the first couple of quarters, I think they might be able to skip away.
Yeah, probably the last quarter will be quite crucial too, particularly with the warmth and of course the conditioning of the teams in the pre-season comes into play. How fit are they? Obviously they haven't played too much in the first only couple of games under their belt, so that'll be quite crucial as well. But I'm still going for Boronia, and as I said before, I think Jess Bolton will be fantastic again across half-back, and Jake Godwin will be a colossus in the midfield, and they've got strength up front, so I think Boronia in a close one.
I'm going to go with, I'm still sticking with Boronia. My player to watch is number 37, Ryan White. I think he's had the perfect preparation. He's trained at the high level, so his energy levels will be high. Expect to see him be prominent in the midfield. And a smoky Luke Johnson for mine from ex-Vermont boy. I think he could add another dynamic to the Boronia club this season.
Cracking day at Tormore Reserve.
See, Brash can even get Vermont in when they're not playing.
Yeah, find a way to work him in.
He's a disgrace.
Anyway, how? I don't know if we touched on it. Donny East got a good win as well yesterday. So
don't worry, BWS has already told us from the pool bar in Las Vegas.
Oh yes, well shout out to him.
But not as good as Noble Park.
I'm sure he'll be watching
Go the Bulls!
on our live coverage on YouTube. And if you're not, jump on, because Gussie, that picture in front of us right now, we could make a postcard.
Oh, beautiful.
It's
isn't
glorious.
It? The foot of the mountains right here at Tormore Reserve as players make their way to positions. Scoresby and Boronia here on the Anzac Day appeal round. I cannot wait to get into it. If you are listening to us on Radio Eastern 98.1, keep your dials locked. And if you're at home, turn on the computer to efl.org.au. Watch us on the live stream. I'll hand over to you, Josh. Let's kick off the action right here at Tormore Reserve.
So all set to go in the middle. Big Daniel Diezo, the ruckman here for Scoresby. First tap ball crucial. Umpire checks once, twice, 3 times. We're ready to go. Siren sounds. And here we go for Anzac Sunday at Tormore Reserve. Tossed up. First tap does go the way of Diezo. Scoresby going to be giving up the first clearance though. Good work by Hannon to rebound. It's a very, very high ball. Coming in brilliantly from the top there was Ben Robinson. Quick to move it on and kick inside 50. Short kick was just not in the path of his defender. Great tackling there by Luke Leeson. Still Boronia got the passage here. Rapasada around 1. Kick was smothered going back inside. Scoresby under pressure early. Great pressure applied by Owen for the Pies. Hard tackling by Boronia. It's a fierce contest. This ball is hard to win. Bobbling out. Scoresby some time to represent now. McConnon pressured, lost it. Snap comes back in board from Boronia. Over the top, 2-on-1. Scoresby bring it down, and now they'll be able to repel with some run. Although couldn't be clean with the handball. Picking it up there was Goldsack. Kick towards goal. He's going to trickle over the boundary line. But good start by the Hawks. They look clean. They look active early. Boronia Scoresby, should I say, under the pump.
It's a heck of a press from Boronia too, pressing right up, and Scoresby and just can't get out of their defensive 50. It'd be interesting to see if they can keep that up.
Thrown in 25 out from goal. Boronia there with the tap. Coming in hard over the top was Casterton. Now a snap around the corner from Hannon. It's bending back, but not quite enough. Joshy Hannon gets the first score of the day, and it's a single behind to Boronia. Just gone a minute and a half, and it's a hot start at Tormore Reserve.
So Duncan to kick out once he gets the ball back from a poor throw from the Boronia supporters. But really interesting to see Wade McConnell line up in the back line for Scoresby as Duncan looks to kick out. Scoresby going for the huddle technique here out of the centre. Comes long down the broadcast wing, trying to find a teammate there. Grid spoil there from Bell. Bell looks to go inbound. Couldn't find his target. Smothered. Handball over the top there from Roberts. Boronia launched forward into the forward pocket. Can they find a target? Big fist out the back there from King. And the ball trickles across the boundary
Robinson
line.
was brilliant there, Gussie. Second efforts, third efforts when Scoresby were about to just clean out and run away.
Robertson's been very prominent in the opening 4 minutes for Boronia.
Dieso and Dodd to contend this one deep in Boronia's forward pocket. Really dangerous spot.
Tossed up. Boronia attack it hard. Number coming out the back there was McKernan. His kick towards goal is going to fall short. Great punch over the top from Scoresby, but it's still in play. Strong tackle. Really strong tackle there out the back of the pack, and Scoresby are going to force another throw in. 20 out from goal. Boronia pressing hard early. Really good stuff, Josh Hannon. Take this ruck contest now. Sun in the ruckman's eyes, going to be tricky to contest with. Tossed in, surely a push. Hannon got a hand on its first, then followed up at ground level. Couldn't get a kick out. Strong handball, good pressure. Snap on goal, touched off the boot though. It was a good effort by Boronia. Not sure who the kicker was. It's a hazy contested ball.
I think it was number 2, Luke Hannon.
Thank you for that, Brash. So another minor score for the Hawks, 2 behinds. Scoresby, of course, yet to score and yet to get it past into their attacking 50.
So every player in Boronia's half of the ground here as Goldsworthy looks to kick back into play here. Goldsworthy goes short and straight, trying to find a target. He does. Williams switches the play, looks to go out to the boundary side. Now they can get some running carry here, Scoresby. Scoresby, a few chip kicks up the wing, punch there.
Free kick there to Bronskis. He was interfered as he was going for the ball.
Brognes looks to get on with it quick and goes long to half forward. Big strong lead coming there from Roberts, and Roberts turns the ball over. Boronia now in possession, looking to go long down the boundary line, and Brognes intercepts at centre wing. Switches into the middle of the ground, but he's fallen over as he's kicked it. Great pick up there from McConnell, goes back to Brognes on the wing. Big tackle coming in there. Now Boronia have possession through Hannon. Hannon looking to launch, has a bounce. Handballs. Inbound now, trying to find a target. He doesn't get it. Looking to get some running carry here. First goal opportunity for Boronia, and it's a cracking goal. Running into open play. What a great finish there. Super stuff there from Fairchild with the first major on the board for Boronia. Boy, some really sloppy play from Scoresby, creating that goal on the wing.
I reckon, Brett, that other side of the ground looks a little bit slippery. Blokes were slipping and sliding there, but obviously Boronia were able to take full advantage of clean hands.
Absolutely, yes, Scoresby. They just couldn't transition the ball past quickly enough past halfway, and of course as soon as they turned it over, Boronia seized on the opportunity, and they looked to be transitioning far easier through the Scoresby defence and vice versa.
So 1-2-8 Boronia. Scoresby yet to score. It's been an electric start from the Hawks as the ball's tossed up in the middle once again. Diezo the tap down for Scoresby, and a free kick's been ploughed out here for the Magpies. Umpire holds it up. Now looking to move it inside 50 for the first time, the Pies. Good kick, strong mark, really strong mark taken there. Should get a 25, no doesn't. The marker there in Roberts. Goes with a low drilling ball inside 50, not a great one, but a free kick, just sloppy by the Boronia defender there, and it's going to go the way of Jared Hicks. Advantage paid, Scoresby goal. Just like that, Hicks brought down to the contest. As you can see on the replay screen there, and it was good work in traffic by Crawsey to get it out to a teammate in Gunson, and Mitchell Gunson the first for Scoresby. Just like that, a nice quick reply, what the Magpies needed. 1-2-8 Boronia, Scoresby 1 straight 6.
Game keeps going this way, boys. The man on the score will have a very tough job. It's going to be a very high-scoring contest now. Ball back in the centre as we wait for the ball to come back to the centre of Tormore Reserve.
I think, Brash, quickly, that's what Scoresby have to do if they're going to be able to pierce through Boronia. Quick movement, quick running. That's what their skill is.
Most definitely, and just Boronia just got to be careful when they lay the tackle or they go over, you know, trying to spoil, that they don't get into the big forwards backs of Scoresby, because they're going to hurt you.
It's pretty smart by Jade Hicks just to hold himself
Yes,
up.
he
He
was.
knew he was under the ball, and he almost drew the free kick himself.
Just a little bit of wily experience there, Josh.
So Boronia by 2 points here. 6.5 minutes played at Tormore Reserve. Hannon and Diesa to do battle in the ruck. Tap one down by Hannon, but it's only as far as Milligan for Scoresby. Milligan sends the ball to centre half forward. Can't quite find a target now. Pinballing around there is picked up there by Boxall. Boxall is tackled hard, and the umpire's paid a free kick here to Boronia. So Boronia at centre half back will look to go short towards centre wing. Kicks intercepted there. Good mark taken by Crawshot. Scoresby will look to settle here and find a solid entry. Centre wing position goes short to centre half forward. Strong mark taken there by Anderson. Anderson looks to go inbound now. Kicks a poor one and bumbles along the ground. Puts McConnell under the pump. McConnell's got his head over the foot. He's being held off the play. Big strong tackle from Anderson. Now Boronia launched through the centre of the ground. Punch from the back of the play there was Constantino. Now Scoresby looks to rebound through the likes of Berthel. Ball's just pinballing around the centre of the ground now, and Johnson for Boronia. Handballs forward to his teammate there, and Garrity. Garrity handballs back to Johnson, but he's wrapped up in a big tackle. Scoresby pressures on here, and the umpire's paid a free kick against Boronia.
Yeah, against Berthel there. Just came in a bit too... Oh, it's against Boronia. Well,
Yeah,
Berthel's
for
got
a
the
throw.
free. Well said.
So, Scoresby looking to launch forward now. Ball's been held up on centre wing. Not many options building here for Roberts. Roberts just goes long to centre half forward. Can he find a teammate? Running back with the flight was Crawshot. Handball over the top to his teammate here in Hicks. Hicks has struck him in a big tackle and socket off the ground. I believe it's been touched off the boot. Was Gunton looking to get 2 goals in 2 minutes. That would have been a cracking start for Scoresby.
Good save by Jess Bolton. I think it was on the line to get the touch there just at the end.
So quickly moving it on to Boronia. Good mark taken there by McKernan. 30 out from his defensive goal. Scoresby set up nicely. McKernan has to go low, short. Great spoil over the top by Richards. Chance for Scoresby, but Boronia have numbers on the ground. Great tackling. Boronia under the pump. Scoresby have the numbers now, and a handball out to that man in McConnon. Goes long for a teammate. Great work there by Milligan. Turns, goes over the top to Boxall. Under a lot of pressure.
Oh.
Shocking by Costantino. Dropped it off his side of his boot as he tried to kick for goal. Bronzegate tries to pick it up, and Boronia now have the numbers defensively to clear out the far side. That kick's pretty poor though, in the path of Garrity. Couldn't mark. Scoresby jump on him. This is right on top of the forward 50 here for the Pies. Kick inside 50's a high ball. Boronia with numbers. Great effort a couple of times there by Boxall. Now Boronia with a bit of run. What have they got now? Some composure from White is needed. It is good. Hannon, the Luke variety in the middle of the ground, takes a nice mark. Looks to play on, realises he's got nothing, has to go back to that man there in Garrity. His kicks Paul McConnell over the top, great interception. Strong tackling though on him, forces a bit of a turnover. Now Hannon follows up his work. He's strongly tackled, and the umpire's pulled a free here. I think it's going to go his way for a high tackle, sorry it is. So Boronia now feeling the pressure. Great kick by Hannon. Two attempts at it by Henderson, but he gets the mark. Deserves 50. Because the umpire is going to play it. No, he's just going to pull the Scoresby player back. So Henderson smack bang in the middle of Tormore. Kick inside 50. Good to space. Great punch coming over the top there by Williams. Now Boronia at the fall of the ball. What have they got? Good handball over the top to Garrity. He goes back to go forward. Now the ball's inside 50, but it's wide, it's poor. It's just going to hold the line. And over for a throw-in right in front of the scoreboard. It says Boronia lead this game 1-2-8 to Scoresby's 1-1-7, 10 minutes gone.
Scoresby has had some gilt-edged opportunities to put a couple of goals on board. Cosentino running into an open goal, should have kicked that goal.
So Hannon wins the tap down, but its ball is going to be balled up right in front of the boundary line here. Deep in the Boronia forward line. Scoresby pressing their numbers high up the ground. Ball up speaking better with Diallo and Hannon. Diesa wins the tap down to only as far as Richards, and he's crunched up in a big tackle there. Another ball up, same spot, right in front of the scoreboard here at Tormore Reserve. Umpire throws the ball up, big piss down there from Diesa, and once again a big crunching tackle there. I think he's actually paid a free kick there, Josh.
Yeah, he has.
Pushing the back.
Yeah, it's Milligan who's got it.
Milligan looking to rebound here through Crawshot. Picked up there by Burchell. He goes long down the line, finds McConnell. McConnell's under the pump. And the ball's just going to trickle across the boundary line.
Got to like both sides' intent on the tackle, and both sides are really pushing very hard at the moment.
So right in front of the canteen here at Tormore Reserve, boundary throw-in. Rucks have nominated. Dioso gets the better spot with a big fist towards the boundary line, but it's just going to sprinkle over bounds once again.
Interesting matchup, that Henderson Dioso ruck duel. I expect Ryan Henderson to probably be able to have more damage around the ground.
So Dioso using his body in the ruck today so far. Continue to do the same. Tap one down by Henderson. It's only as far as Wade McConnell. Wade McConnell swings on the right boot down the boundary line, trying to find a teammate in Hicks. Hicks handballs, does some run and carry now. It's Gunton. Handball over the top from Crawshaw. Couldn't find a target. Here's Gunton now. He's trickling the ball on the boundary line. King's amongst the bottom of the pack as well, and the umpire says I'll ball it up. Right on centre wing broadcast side of Tormore Reserve. Rucks have nominated. Hannon wins the tap down to his teammate in Burgess. Burgess kicks the ball along the boundary line. It's hugging the boundary line and will trickle out of bounds right in front of the Boronia coaches' boxes.
Just spotting number 11 running down there, Jake Godwin. He's been very quiet in the early stages, hasn't really got into the game yet.
So boundary throw in here. Dioso playing behind the footy as a ruckman. Out-muscled there by Hannon. McConnon trickles the ball along the boundary line. I've got a feeling we'll have another boundary throw in. That we will.
Rush, as at early stages as Peter Brown, you'd be very concerned with the amount of ball that Wade McConnell is getting at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to need to have a look at that, Josh, very much so.
Even right now, he's just at the back of this contest, completely unmarked.
That's right.
Throw in now. Good tap down by Hannon, roved by Dioso, who didn't go up in the ruck that time. Kick forward to a 2-on-1. Crawshaw's going to have to work hard for Scoresby.
Oh, well
Great
done.
tap to his advantage. He's got a teammate in Bronski over the back. His handball finds him in his pass. Turns one, turns two, and smart play to find a teammate in Ash King. He'll go back for goal, surely from 40 metres out. Clever, and that's the experience you spoke about pre-game, Brash.
Yeah, two experienced Scoresby boys putting it all together there. Adam Bronsgeist and Matty Crawsick.
Boys, interesting, Dioso is playing behind the ball and not really competing in
No.
ball-ups within his centre half.
No, I think the other thing is too that obviously Brett Casterson does have that run with Wade McConnell. He's going to have to tighten up.
So King from pretty much directly in front. Unfortunately, the kick's a real bad one. Ruins the good work done by the Pies. Way to the right, just through for a behind. So scores level, 14 minutes gone. Boronia and Scoresby 8 apiece on your EFL Sunday here at Tormore Reserve.
Boronia goes short. Good strong mark taken there by McKill. So Lake has the footy deep in the Boronia pocket. Short kick hits up and finds Repeater.
Rapazzato, is it?
That's the one. Brash goes long down the boundary line trying to find Hannon. Hannon flies, but so does Scoresby players. Williams brings the ball to ground. Brognies is in there, got a hip and shoulder there. Now Boronia looking to launch a counter-attack of their own with Anderson. Anderson swings around, but it's all Boronia. Marks taken on the half-back flank. Roberts couldn't quite get there to intercept. Boronia under the pump here, have to go short, and that they do. They find a target in Johnson. Johnson pressed up right on the boundary line here for Boronia. He goes short inbound and finds a target there in Burgess. Right on the 50 badge. Umpire says crept up too forward there, Ash King.
And that's costly, because you look at how well Scoresby was set up behind the ball. They're forced to push back quickly now, but just silly stuff, because they were locking them in nicely.
So Boronia, 25-metre penalty there for them. They'll probably look to go long here.
It's a short 25, I reckon.
A very short 25. Handball from Burgess goes backwards to go forward. Kick now down the line, finds his intended target there in Robinson. Robinson swings around to the right boot, inside 50. Big strong mark taken there by Ryan Henderson. He led very strong and put the big jukes up. Great hit-up kick there from Burgess. Ryan Henderson will go back and try and kick the second major for the Hawks.
Well, it was Robinson that came out of the middle with that kick.
Most influential player on the ground at the moment, Ben Robertson.
Ball user, and for a forward like Henderson to not have to break stride in the mark, that's all you can ask for.
So Ryan Henderson, 40 metres out, slight angle, shouldn't trouble him at all. On the right boot, it's on its way, looks a bit low. Didn't even make the distance.
Come off his shin.
Across the boundary line, or the highline line.
Not a great kick, but that's what we've been waiting for, Ryan Henderson, to get up there and take some marks and impose himself on the game. He's good all around the field, but it's not one of his best efforts on that occasion.
So Brog needs to kick in now for Scoresby. Uses that trusty left boot and hits up Wade McConnon. Switches on now, go long down the line. Great mark taken there under the pump. Now Scoresby look to run and carry with Williams. Williams is under the pump now. Scoresby have some numbers around the contest. Handball goes forward, trying to find a target there in Hicks. Hicks goes wide towards the boundary line. Handball was poor. Now Boronia will launch a counter-attack of their own. The ball's trickling towards the boundary line and Garrity couldn't quite get there. Boys, really scrappy play from Scoresby coming out of their back line.
Yeah, just their ball handling, Brett. It's not safe and sure at the moment.
Not clean, but I'm sure that they'll work on that, and yeah.
Ball thrown up far centre wing, Tormore. Boronia get this one out through Hannon. Under a lot of pump now, and good handball. It's a risky one though. Coming in hard was Costantino. Couldn't stick the tackle now. Boronia out with a bit of time and space on the left boot. Inside 50 in the Henderson direction. Great fist from behind there in Owen. Scoresby at the fall. Owen's going to have to be used again here. He was slow to it. Held off it. Snap around the corner from Fairchild's an absolute ripper. It's in. Stunning goal. Early nomination for your Vipero goal of the day. Around the body from the wrong side for a right footer on the left boot.
Check side
Snapping
kick.
check side. Stunning. Fairchild well played. Boronia 2-3-15 lead. Scoresby 1-2-8.
Tell you what, that's going to be a fair contender there. It's going to be hard to beat that one this afternoon. That was really good play. Boronia just seem to be a little bit more sure when they get the ball in open field. In open field play, I just think that Scoresby are just fumbling at the moment, the crucial moment.
And I think in that particular passage of play, Brash, that's just smarter play. And
Yep.
Scoresby, they're going to try and repel here. Inside 50 ball was strong, mopping up nicely was Bolton. Good hands to Bell. Lots of run now for the Hawks out of defence. Finds a teammate in Rutherford. Slows down play. Chipping ball up the line is a strong one. They got it at side 50 now. Henderson the target once again over his head. Owen strong for Scoresby, dives on it. So too there does Burgess. Boronia with numbers. Fairchild again, great tackle. Shrugged it though, did Rapisada. Now they've got a bit of time. He goes back on the right foot, shot at goal to the right. And another minor score for the Hawks, 2-4-16. They lead 8 points now as we close in on extra time, or added time should I say, in this first quarter action. And we've got an exciting game here on your EFL Sunday game day. Stunning conditions out at Tormore. Hawks putting scores around the pump, but Gussie there holding on for now with a bit of bad kicking.
They are so. Scott Goldsworthy with the kicking duties here. Must be a fairly big hill at the back of Tormore Reserve there, taking a long time to get the footy back. But in the meantime, Scott Goldsworthy has the kicking duties for Scoresby. Going with the huddle situation at centre half back. Goldsworthy goes wide to the left-hand side. Good strong mark taken there by King. King plays on left boot, goes long and down the line. The kick's a poor one. Couldn't quite find his target there, but well done there from Richards. Richard goes long down the line. He's got run and carry there with Hicks. Hicks goes long, trying to find a target in the forward line, but it's all 2-on-1 for Boronia. The one prevails. Great hands there from Dieso. Goes to his teammate in Anderson. Anderson long
Good
towards
kick,
the
bad
goals,
luck.
but couldn't quite go through. Goes across to the right-hand side for a minor score.
Good play there by Roberts. 1 on 3 there.
So Boronia play on quickly, and a mark's been taken there by Lake. Lake goes long down the line trying to find a teammate, and that he does. Good strong mark taken by Bell. Bell goes inbound, couldn't quite. Oh, great mark taken there by McKernan. McKernan runs on, kicks long to the forward line. Who's the option? Where's Henderson? Great spoil at the back there from Owen. Saving the day once again.
Really strong Jesse Owen. That was very good work. It's come in a couple of times high to him, Brash, against Henderson. And
Yeah, but that was a really good piece of play from the transition from the back line there from Boronia.
20.5 minutes gone. Once again, we find it deep inside Boronia's 50, as we have a number of times this quarter. This time it's Scoresby who win the tap. Kick out of the bottom of the play, marked strongly there. It's Bronzegeist. Chipping ball, risky, but works out okay. To Chapman, tried playing on. Umpire's going to pay 25 though. The man on the mark got a little bit ambitious. Thought he might have got pinged inside his own defensive 50. That wouldn't have worked out too well.
Lucky there for Constantino.
Constantino, thank you, Gus. Now he's finally told to play on. Kick high towards Diezo direction. Coming in strong from over the top was Godwin. He goes again at ground level, slung pretty hard in the tackle. Umpire lets it all go and will ball it up.
So Diezo's nominated here. And Hannon. Diezo using his body, but he got out muscled there by Diezo. Wade McConnell, the bottom of the pack, couldn't quite onto the ball. Boronia looking to rebound here with Lake. The ball is going to be balled up right in front of the broadcast position here. Centre wing of Tormore Reserve, 22 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Diezo and Hannon to do bad on the ruck. Great body use from Diezo. He rucks his own footy, but a good strong mark taken out in front there from Burgess. Now they look to run and carry. Here's Burgess going long down the centre of the field. Who can they find a target? Plenty of running numbers here. One of them is Garrity. He's being tackled well by Burgess. Great shepherd there to allow Williams to play on. Williams goes long down the boundary line trying to find a teammate in there, and Hicks. Hicks goes long looking for his teammate there in Birchall. Goes inside was Gunter. Can he find a target here? Broadneast running open to an open goal. Thank you very much for coming. Jared Hicks makes it 2 goals for Scoresby, I should say, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Boronia 2-4-16 plays Scoresby 2-3-15. 22.5 minutes played at Tormore Reserve.
That was just really sloppy. I mean, that just came in. It looked like it was a nothing kick, and the Boronia offence basically just non-existent. They stood around waiting, and that's a shocking error.
They pushed all up on that half forward, Brett, and got caught on the transition coming back down.
Yeah.
Great late goal for Scoresby. Not a high-scoring term as we tick across 23 minutes. Can't be too much longer left. 1 point leaders, though, the Hawks still. Back in the guts. Henderson pushed up into the ruck, and it was him who won the tap. Diezo trying to rove his work. Had to apply a strong tackle in there as well as Milligan. Umpires let this one go for a fair bit and calls it up now. Exciting game for your Sunday football, thanks to the AFL. Right on by Diezo, probably a push. Umpire a bit blindsided. Went again, went a third time over the top there. Still was Rutherford. Goes back to go forward, and Lake kick towards the direction of his full forward, but strong work, really good work by Adam Bronsgeist. Tumbling, pummeling punt. Scoresby find it in the middle. Good effort from the mark. Umpire lets it go. Pressure from Bolton for the Hawks at the back was strong. Probably should have held it in. It's spilled out now to Godwin. Now he's under the pump, and Scoresby now going to get that ball up they want. About 70 out from their goal.
Might have been lucky there, Godwin, to get a stoppage because he actually pulled the ball back in. He could have been easily penalised then.
Henderson with this tap. Down to a teammate. Godwin follows it up, tries to bounce it, was held, and umpire didn't see it. McConnell now, low drilling ball to Bronsgeist over his head. Although he followed up the defender's spoil. Now to Boxall. Which way can he turn? Gives it off to Crawshick. Back over the top to McConnell. I think that's on the full. What's the umpire going to say here? Yeah, he's going to pay it. And it's going to go the way of a Boronia player there. So
thought Scoresby just got a little too cute there.
Bit of relief indeed, I think. As that kick was poor though, still a chance as King intercepts. He's got to move it quick. Doesn't have a lot inside 50. Going to have to dump it long in the Boxall direction, you'd think. It's exactly what he does. Numbers at the back still flying. Great fist from the Hawks. Out towards McConnell, who chases it over the line for another throw in.
King did the right thing by going front and centre, and Ryan Hicks was there, the big man to try and pull in the mark. Was good defending there by Boronia.
So Hicks to do ruck for Scoresby deep in their forward line. Not long to go now in this first quarter. Tap one down by Hicks. Can he find a Scoresby player? Under the pump here was Anderson. Snap from Hicks was smothered. Anderson goes into Big Smith. Wade McConnell's there. The ball trickles across the boundary line. Scott Duncan under pressure there.
Great hard football this is. This is brilliant, Brash.
He's paid a free kick here. Free kick's going the way of McAlpine. Not sure what it's for. But in the meantime, McAlpine goes short. Garrity couldn't quite take the mark. Now Scoresby pounce. Ball's made its way out to Williams. Williams kick smothered off the boot. And the ball's just pinballing around the half-back line. Diezo has the ball. Goes long towards full forward. Can Brogneys take a mark? Good strong mark. I think it was Hicks, as a matter of fact.
Now, the experience of Ben Bronskiest again just managed to outmanoeuvre his opponent, just moved him slightly under the ball and beautifully judged the mark coming in for his second goal.
It was brilliant work, though, by, I think it was Dylan Milligan for the Pies. It was a 100% 50-50 ball, attacked it hard, got hit hard, but they got it out.
So here's Brogneist. Put a third on the board for the Scoresby Football Club. The goal umpire doesn't move. Third goal on the board for the Scoresby Football Club. They move out to a 5-point lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I'll go back on that because we were rushed with Brosges coming in. That is what the epitome as a coach, what you want to see your players attacking the ball, as Milligan just did there. Like I said, 100% a 50-50 contest between, I think it might have been Matt Geraghty for the Hawks.
Yep.
He's gone in hard, big side hit, but managed to get the ball out in the same way. Bang that out over the top, albeit, a bit of a lucky mark by Bronskiest, but 1%ers like that, to put yourself in the lead right before quarter time, goes a long way.
Yeah, Boronia is starting to get hurt a little bit on those kicks out of defence, aren't they?
Yeah, it's an important skill, and you're right, they definitely missed a few of those, and hence Scoresby lead by 5 points late stages first term. Boronia going to get a clearance, though, to go inside 50 one more time over the top. Adam Bronskiest, he's kind of that loose man in defence for the Pies, and now the runner in Goldsworthy just going to try and find the boundary line. Well done there by I think it was Leeson to keep it in. Boronia still alive here. Handball up, quick 1-2. Now it's Henderson, inside 50 ball. Owen at the back of the pack. Bronskiest comes in from the side again, trying to pick it up there. It was Johnson. No can do. Scoresby with numbers now, but Boronia still pressing. Great tackling pressure. Who's going to get this one out for the Hawks? It's a goal, I think. It's just touched off the boot. I'm not sure whose boot it came off in a snapping direction, but some diving efforts there from Scoresby made sure it wasn't a goal. And
I think it was Fairchild.
Yeah, I think it might have been as well. So just a 4-point game. Sorry, 5-point games. No, 4. No, not very good at maths here, Gus.
Anyway, Goldsworthy kicks in. It's a poor kick off the boot. It's only as far as an opposition player in Cassidy. He goes short, but an intercept mark, and plays being slowed down now from Boxall.
Poor kick by Geraghty there. Didn't look.
Boxall goes short, finds his teammate here in Scott Duncan. Scoresby looking to slow the play down and take the ball at centre half back. They go long towards the wing. Out the back of the pack here is McConnon. 2-on-1 for Scoresby. Big crunching tackle there, but the ball's come out only as far as Bolton. Bolton weaving and waving through traffic. Handball hugs the boundary line. Ball's come back inside, found its way to Bolton. Big hip and shoulder there from Wade McConnon. The ball goes over the boundary line.
Seems a sense of perceived pressure there is really hurting Boronia. They're not showing much poise when they've got control of the ball here.
I think it's just been great pressure applied by the Pies.
So Dieso and Hannon in the ruck, or Henderson I should say. Dieso wins a tap down, trying to find Duncan. Running hard at the footy here was Hicks. Ball just pinballing around on the boundary line with the ball up right in front of the Boronia coaches' boxes. Can't be long to go here in the first quarter. 29 and a bit minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Scoresby by 4 points. Dieso and Henderson in the tap. Henderson wins a tap down, trying to find Bolton. Ball's trickling along the boundary line is Burgess. High tackle there, or push in the back, paid to Milligan. So Scoresby looking to slow the play down as the quarter time siren goes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Is Boronia 2-5-17, plays Scoresby 3-3-21. We'll have a quick break here on AFL Game Day at Tormore Reserve.
Up the Mitcham Tigers! Ah, the Burners!
Let's go, Panthers!
What a mark! Let's go, doggies!
Tobin Brothers Funeral, serving all supporters in the Eastern Football League since 1934. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out the latest news and feature articles. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos, and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to EFL.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best. Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account. The latest news and views on Facebook. Don't miss EFL Game Day or the Match Footage Hub on YouTube. And all those happy snaps on the league's Instagram account. Simply search Footy EFL.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Hope we win this weekend.
I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game.
Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase.
Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins.
It's win-win, man.
Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours.
Or your team membership.
At any Pancake Parlour this weekend.
Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I could put together a really cool playlist.
Frank Sinatra.
Elton John.
Beethoven.
John Lennon.
Boy bands.
A lot of 90s.
I'd certainly not be opposed to people dancing.
Finger food.
Party pies.
Homemade pickles.
I'd like some cakes.
There will be fairy bread.
Twinks.
I have a thing for pink lemonade.
And lots of coffee.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A, for A1 Airport Parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
A new time and a new team, driving you home in 2016. Join a brand new lineup for The Huddle as the gang take a light-hearted look at the Eastern Football League every Friday night. More importantly, the team will reveal the ins and outs for this week's round of matches. The Huddle, 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday evening as you love it local.
Oh yes, welcome back to Sunday Eastern Football League action out at Tormore Reserve. It's Boronia and Scoresby, and it's the Magpies who, with a nice little goal by Ben Bronskis towards the final siren, took a 4-point lead into quarter time, 3-3-21 over Boronia's 2-5-17. As I said, Benny Bronskis 2 goals, Mitch Gunton with 1, and Damon Fairchild, the 2 goals, should I say, for Boronia. Fellas, a very, very tight and hard-hitting game, and we did take particular note at the Hawks' kicking skills in that second half of that quarter. A bit poor, probably let them down at times, and they're probably going to have to address that early stages in this second term.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think one of the reasons why their kicking is so poor is because of Scoresby's pressure that they're putting on. They're setting up a full 18-man zone, a full ground press, and I think the pressure acts coming in from players like your Duncans. The Hicks brothers been impressive, and I really like the pressure. I think that's a Division 1 thing that Wade McConnell's brought back to the Scoresby Football Club. His pressure around the contest and his marshalling troops. Brash, I think that's something that he's brought back and Brett from Division 1 footy.
Absolutely, yeah, the kicking efficiency has been a problem, so they'll be looking to address that. But Wade McConnell, terrific, of course, in probably the first half of that quarter. I thought he was a little bit quieter towards the second, but he did spend some time off the ground as well. But he's having a massive influence. And the other guy that has caught my eye too has been Daniel Deiso in the ruck. He's been very good rucking.
Monster.
Yeah, having a terrific game. So that'll be something that Boronia needs to nullify.
It was actually a game of, it was a half of one quarter there. Boronia probably dominated the first 10 to 12 minutes. And then Scoresby, once they found their feet, I thought that they actually were, they were the aggressor, or they just seemed to be able to find a little bit more space come towards the end of the first quarter. Just the experience in that forward line for Scoresby, for mine, just to, it's really important because you can create goals when others can't. So, that's something that Boronia's going to have to watch. But when they move the ball, Boronia, they're as good as anything through the midfield. I think they're in charge of the corridor, but they're just not taking advantage of it.
They're not taking it. And we spoke pre-game about the tight, confined spaces and it sounds ironic on the ground as big as this, but when you've got wings as big as this, it is a lot easier for teams just to squeeze you into that one area.
Yes.
And for you to be able to hit those kicks, even Division 1 players, even, even AFL players are going to sometimes struggle to hit those short 20-metre kicks. And as you said, we saw that as a main problem for the Hawks. But you've got to credit Scoresby. Some of that attack, we saw a fantastic bit of play by Dylan Milligan to attack a 50-50 ball, which got him a goal. We've seen some great tackling from some of their other players as well. And looming around the back a couple of times has been Adam Bronzegeese. And the Bronzegeese boys, I think, Brash, have been superb for the Scoresby Footy Club.
Well, they have. They bring a wealth of experience. They've played in premierships. They've got the footy smarts that some of the young guys of today don't have, and they're using it to their full advantage. I also think, Josh, that with Boronia being like it is, sometimes it's a ground where you've got to play a little bit of tempo football because when sides are pushing up the ground, that means it leaves the bottom half or the fat side completely open, and sometimes you're forced into making a decision when you don't have to. So both sides just need to show a bit more poise and a bit more purpose going into the forward lines.
So just about to start the second term, both sides broken from their huddles and fans leaving the arena. Sun's dropped a little bit, but still quite a warm afternoon out here in Boronia.
It's very muggy outside, you know.
Tough work for these players.
Wade McConnell being thrown into the midfield this quarter. Looking to get first use of the footy for Scoresby.
Well, he's probably at least, I would say, he's probably had 12 to 15 touches, probably, you know, and probably efficiency would be around that 75-80%. So, I mean, he's clearly, at this stage, probably the best player on the ground.
We're just going to see if Boronia give him a little bit more extra attention, because...
Well, they're going to have to. Casterson's going to have to tighten up and run with him a lot more.
Siren sounds now for the second term. Scoresby lead this game by 4 points. Tossed up in the middle again. Diezo, as we've seen so many times in that first term, rucked his own tap work. Good clearance for Scoresby. It's a high ball towards the wing. Great pressure over the top there by Rutherford for the Hawks. Johnson got time at the fall of the ball. Boronia now away through Rutherford. Short kick didn't find its intended target. Goldsworthy mopped it up. There's that man Bronzegeese once again out of the back. Kicks into his own man, and now Boronia a chance to repel. Kick inside 50. Great spoil. In fact, it could have almost been an attempted mark there by Richards. He rebounds, finds a teammate in Milligan. Moves it on quickly now to Diezo. Back to that man in Richards. Runs from the back line inside 50. Kick got smothered out of the hands. McConnell run down and a great tackle. Umpire lets it go. Hicks on hands and knees. Crawshick's there too. Gets the handball out. Running around with a couple of options inside 50 was Milligan. He went for the goals and it just dribbled through for a minor score. And McConnell's down from that tackle, holding his ankle, just making his way up. I think he's all right now.
Sorry, Josh, how good was Toby Richards in that play? He got involved twice. Fantastic play. It was just absolutely wonderful.
It was fantastic. And now Boronia going to have to slow it down now through Lake. Right in the pocket. Goes with a long high ball. Diezo's there for Scoresby. Two Boronia players go for the mark, but Garrity got strong enough hands and kicked towards the inside 50, just outside, should I say, Fairchild. 2 goals in the first term. Strong work now to Hannon. Looks to move it on quickly, back to Fairchild, hugging the boundary. Goes shorter and lower for a target inside, but just over the head of Henderson, and Scoresby take a repelling mark now through Ryan Hicks.
So Hicks goes long down the boundary line, has 2 players in, Milligan and McConnell. Milligan goes long down the line trying to find a teammate in Hicks. Hicks brings the ball to his chest. Good strong mark taken there, Hicks in the long sleeves. Probably just having to go long to the hotspot here, not many options presenting. One of the options presenting at the back is Boxall. Running back with the float there, great work. Picked up, snapped across the body. It's only as far as a Boronia player. Boronia looking to transition the ball out of the back line now. Diezo's in there. So now Boronia have some space in the pocket. They'll look to counter-attack down the wing. Good short kick, finds his intended target there in Hannon. So Hannon has the ball right in front of the coach's box. Not many options open for him. He might have to go long down the line. That he does to his ruckman in a 3-on-1. The 3 prevails now. Scoresby can counter-attack through Richards. Richards beats 1, beats 2. Great work from Richards. Goes long to a 2-on-1 contest. Great work there to bring the ball front and centre in the hands. Wasn't quite good enough though. Burgess counter-attacking now off the half-back line. Handball found its way out now to Burgess. And the ball is going to be held up right in front of the broadcast position here.
Richards really imposing himself at the start of this quarter.
Stunning pressure from Scoresby. Once again, it was Anderson there who got that tackle, but they're forcing Boronia wide right into the wing, and they just haven't been clean at all.
So Dieso to do ruck in the battle once again with Hannon. Dieso wins a tap, crumbs his own footy once again. What a beast he's been in the ruck today. Tries to put a block on for McConnon, but the ball just trickles over the boundary line once again.
Actually, I reckon there's a height mismatch. Lake on Ryan Hicks. I reckon with the centre half forwards not having any influence, drop Ryan Hicks at full forward and go one out and long.
So Henderson and Dieso. Dieso prevails once again, but it's only as far as Burgess. Dieso doing his own crumbing work and just trickles the ball forward for Scoresby. At the front of the pack there was Duncan. Duncan's spoil forward wasn't quite what he intended. Now the ball's come out to Constantino. Constantino dances his way through traffic and goes through the centre of the ground. Couldn't quite hit a target. Here's Benny Brognies with the pickup. Great little handball there, and he thinks he's been pinned for a throw. Now Scoresby under the pump as Boronia counter attack through McKernan. McKernan goes long trying to find Henderson. But a great coming back with the flight there was the Adam Brognies variety. And now Scoresby at possession once again. Short kick, good strong attempted mark there from Anderson. I think he's going to be rewarded with a free kick. That he will. So Mitch Anderson on the half-back flank for Scoresby. Dieso is presenting, not going to get rewarded. So Anderson uses his trusty left boot, goes long down the line. This one will be brought to front and centre. Oh, a good attempted mark there from Hannon. And a big strong tackle coming in over the top. Great pressure there from Cassidy.
Right on the wing. Duncan going in hard for Scoresby. Tossed up, hands down there was Joshy Hannon. Once again, roved his ruck work. We've seen that a couple of times today. Kicks a high up and under. Great attack on the ball there by Boronia. Surely a free, and it is. Goes to Garrity, I believe. Diezo came in pretty strong, cleaned him up high. Garrity looks to open it up. Kicks a risky one to a 2-on-1. Great work at the back there by Fairchild. Went again. White was in there for the Hawks too. Here he is now. Picks it up. Has a bit of time to look around. Goes for a little chiseling ball to the top of the 50. Bell, too far out to score. Lowers his eyes. Kick towards a number of plays, but Scoresby have the numbers. Cosentino trying to bundle it through. He's wide again. Takes on the tackler. Out to Fairchild. He's already kicked one. That snaps far off to the right and out of bounds on the full. Kicked one stunner in the second term, got 2 goals, not to be that time, and still it's Scoresby with a 5-point lead. Now they go across goal, taken there by Williams, he's been good. Now finds a loose inside his defensive 50 in Cosentino. Short chipping ball's good to Ryan Hicks. Just trying to slow it down a little bit now, Scoresby. Wants a bit of run, goes long and further up the wing. Good one-on-one there by Rutherford to bring it down for the Hawks. Fighting hard there is Bell, looking for the boundary line, just keeps it in. In there too is Godwin, strong tackle on Bronzegeese, and the ball up in front of a nice little Boronia setup, right in front of those picturesque hills, of course, at Tormore Reserve. Hot footy, no goals scored this term, still Scoresby by 5, and that's going to be out for a throw-in off the hands of Burgess.
Yeah, the game's hit a bit of a stalemate at the moment. I just think that both sides are trying and use the corridor, but they just seem to be misguided with their direction and kicking into that forward line.
Dieso and Henderson to do battle in the ruck. Dieso uses his body, but the ball falls to ground. And once again, we'll have a ball up. Far side of Tormore Reserve, centre wing. 7 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as Dieso wins the ruck tap down and roving his own footy once again. Couldn't quite find his target there, and McConnon bursting through the back of the pack was Hicks.
He's cooked Dieso, and you would be too after you put so much effort in. He just keeps going and going, doesn't he, Brett?
He's roving his
own
own
big
ruck
boy,
work.
isn't he? He's absolutely huge. I'm looking at him beside Hannon and what's his name, Henderson.
Dieso wins the tap down there. Boronia looking to counter-attack here through Bolton. Bolton's been hit in the head there, but the play's been allowed to play on. And the umpire's blown his whistle for a trip there on King. Has he played advantage? Yes, he has. Scoresby looking to switch now, try to find Beasel. Beasel comes out, one further kick now to our broadcast side of the ground. Scoresby have numbers here. Goes inbound is Richards. Can he find a target at the back there? No one there to be front and centre for Scoresby. The ball's pinballing around. Burgess tackled hard.
Good tackle.
And I think we'll have a ball up once again. Great transitioning work there from Scoresby. The switch was on and they utilised it quite well.
Richards is having a really good quarter off that half-back flank.
Fantastic.
So Hicks and Anderson to do battle deep in the Scoresby forward line. Hicks wins the tap over the back, couldn't quite find his target there, and Crawshaw with a big crunching tackle there on Burgess, and the ball's bombed out of the line for Scoresby. Here's Wade McConnell dancing through traffic, evades one, evades two, snap around the corner, can it go all the way? It's going to fall short and bounce through. That might even be a goal. The umpire said it's
that
gone
was pretty
through.
poor. That was pretty poor by Wade McConnell. For those who aren't watching, he had about 3 or 4 options parallel to him on the top of the 50. He went for the snap at goal himself. A little bit hungry, I would have thought.
Yeah,
Bit hungry.
Low percentage play, wasn't it?
6 points now, the Scoresby lead. Boronia's kick out finds White, tucked in the pocket, front of the grandstand at Tormore. Bit of work to do, you feel, for the Hawks. Not really able to get any clean ball inside 50, and I think forcing the positions they don't like. That kick once again, great intercept to spoil there by Bronzegeist.
Their kicking efficiency is not getting any better, is it? They just can't seem to improve in that
Well,
area.
their forward pressure hasn't been too good. That spoil from Bronzegeist, he's just run back to the defensive 50, no one on him. He's just doing what he likes at the moment, is Adam Bronzegeist. Diezo with the tap, bit of a push there on Milligan. Umpire lets it go, and Boronia players jump on top of him.
There seems a distinct lack of accountability by Boronia at the moment to pick up their men, and I think it's just the experienced players of Scoresby that are holding them in good stead at the moment.
Big punch by Diezo towards the direction of King. He couldn't pick it up. White following suit now. Now a chance for the runner in Hicks. Couldn't be clean. Handball off to King. Good handball again, but to a man under immense pressure. Tackled by McAlpine was superb, and now Boronia have numbers to rebound. Godwin's low. Chisler dropped by Henderson. Followed up with a tackle. Diezo now, surely a throw. Umpire says yes. Godwin followed up a pretty poor kick and will be rewarded with a free one now. 6 points their lead. 10 minutes gone. This has been the position that Boronia haven't really been able to get a marking target up, and once again off a couple of hands. Following up strongly there was Robinson. It's probably a good position. Umpire says he dragged it in. He's going to ping him. Umpire warned him, and now Robinson with the free. Kicks towards the centre half forward. Poor one over the top of his teammate, and that loose man in Adam Bronzegeist mops up once again. Good number in the middle in Gunton. Strong mark, turns around. Good low little Chisler to Bronzegeist. Surely played on, he did. Umpire knew it. Had to kick quickly off a step towards the Hicks direction. Out the back, great coming back with a flight was Rapazada, I think it might have been, or Dodd. But nonetheless, Boronia have the mark deep inside 50 and will look to rebound once more.
So Dodd has a deep, marshalling his troops to go long down the wing. That he does with a big boom right kick. Guess who?
Shocking kick.
Adam Barogneist once again. Shocking kick to go inside 50. And Bell will rebound now for Boronia. Boronia look to go into the centre of the ground. Good strong mark there. Was taken by Leeton. He's been paid for a free kick anyway for a high spoil.
Made him earn it though.
So Leeson has the footy now, centre half back for Boronia. Not many numbers presenting for him, so he might have to go long down the line here. So he goes long up the middle of the ground, trying to find a teammate there in Burgess. Burgess brings the ball front and centre, then for Casterin to run under it. Casterin handballs to his teammate there, and Rapazada. Rapazada's been handballed out to the ball there, and Rapazada.
This is where they're falling down, centre half forward.
Good strong tackle there from McConnell. Ball is pinballing around for centre half forward.
And the reason why I say that is because Robertson's being forced up the ground to try and create something for Boronia in this lead. It's leaving them nothing when they go into their forward 50.
Diezo to do ruck work once again against Henderson. Bit of a nothing tap there, and the umpire's paid a high free going towards Henderson here. I'm not sure what that one was intended for.
Might be a even opera.
Lucky break.
And the way Henderson goes to full forward, that's shocking kick off the boot.
4-on-1.
Strong intercept mark has been taken there by King. King goes short, trying to find a teammate in Ash Hicks.
Some of these kicks as if they're just putting a blindfold on and just taking a lucky dip and just hoping someone's there. There's just no thought.
So Hicks goes short, finds his teammate in King. Halfback flank for Scoresby. Looks to switch, goes inbound, finds his intended target there. Now Scoresby can run and carry through Constantino. Constantino, big barrel kick, goes long trying to find Crawshaw. Ball's falling at the back. Crawshaw 2-on-1 here. Crawshaw's going to prevail. Can he find a handball? That he can. Couldn't quite hit his target now. There's a boot lying on the ground. Not sure who that belongs to. As the ball's just going to rebound at a half-back line with Leeson for Boronia.
Yeah, and good run by Boronia. Great work by Godwin defensively.
That
The
might
run
be
we saw from
25
Scoresby
there.
was good, and it will be. Well called, Brash. Boronia just haven't had that run. Costantino was a good display there to get a kick inside 50, albeit not a good one, but it was the effort that mattered, and Casterton has to go short in the middle. That works out all right to Henderson. He's forced to play on his right now. Little chipping ball will work out all right to Hannon.
It's this kick where they're falling down.
This is the one, isn't it?
Luke Hannon, pretty high. More Boronia players at the fore of this one. Robinson at the back, great mark.
And that's the value of having your key forward in the positions where it's going to hurt you the most. He was in front of goal, 30, 40 metres out. The kick that was directed in his direction, and he was able to go on with it.
Goes short, finds a teammate there in Luke Hannon. Now Luke Hannon has a more acute angle, but less distance to work with here. You back him in from here, surely, Josh.
35 out, 45-degree angle.
Actually, this is a pretty important kick for Boronia because really they haven't had much to sing about in this second quarter.
Giggles doesn't back him, so it's a big call. We're right behind this one. They need this, Boronia. Say that's an understatement. Kick on the way, fades out to the left.
No.
And he knew it well. Knew the win better than Hannon did our Giggles, and a minor score once again to the Hawks. 2-6-18. Their first score of this quarter. Scoresby 3-5-23. Still a tight game.
They're just going to go. Just got to aim to the right of the inside right goalpost here for get that little gentle swing.
Little outswinger, Bresh.
Yeah, bit of a zither.
A what?
5 points to Scoresby lead. Good kick by Bronzegeese. Finds Williams, who marks strongly and has been super impressive. He's got a runner out the back who couldn't mark there, and King, and was forced to go back into the contest. Good tackle by Boronia. King had to Kroshik run down. In fact, it was, Duncan. Great tackle there. Going to go the way of McAlpine. Brilliant stuff from behind. His kick pretty poor, and now it's another locked up ball. I think it was smothered, in fact, by that man he just tackled, so didn't work out all right there.
That is unforgivable.
It's
just kicking the man into the mark when you had possession of the ball.
It's been Boronia's problem once again on that wing. Unable to be clean. There's that man Duncan tackling strong. Just got a late handball out to Gold. Sacked it Boronia. Pressure on now. McAlpine diving in again. Umpire says he threw it, so he's had a shocking little 30-second spell as Berthasell kicks towards centre half forward. Strong punch from the back by Rutherford. Umpire lets this one go and he sees it out over the boundary line. Decent result there for the Hawks, trailing by 5. 16 minutes gone, second term action here on EFL Game Day for your Anzac Sunday.
So Henderson to ruck in the battle with Deiso. Deiso with a bit of a nothing block there, and the ball trickles out the back. Few appeals for holding the man, but that's been waved away by the umpire. Running back with the flight of the ball there was Duncan. Goldsworthy trying to put a block on, that's unsuccessful. Now Boronia look to go in the centre of the ground. Being held in the middle of the ground there was Leeson. Umpire says no, thank you.
What's he going here?
Oh,
he's paid a free kick for blocking the run.
Great work. We could pick that up there with the
Jazz, that was a big call from the umpire because he was about 20 yards behind.
Here.
He's got Godwin's speed. Yep. Godwin takes a mark there. Great vision from Robinson.
Unnecessary by Boxall, just jumped in his back.
I tell you, that was a great run from Jess Godwin. I don't know how far. Luke Godwin. He started from way back in the centre square and he just took off. Great run.
Paul checking there, Brett, by Scoresby. Saw him coming down that wing but did nothing about it.
Yeah, no, he was. It was fantastic.
In a game where goals are hard to come by, this is a gimme.
So this to put Boronia back in front for the first time in the second half. He puts it through on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's Boronia 3-6. Play Scoresby 3-5. 1 point ball game on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Been very good, Jake Godwin. You mentioned the run there, Brett. He's shown that a couple of times, and that's just what Boronia need to get back into this game.
Absolutely, yeah, that was fantastic. He deserved the goal. Great effort and nicely finished off.
Goes straight back into the guts now as well.
Some of that half-back line of Boronia may have to, just take a few chances and run forward of the ball just to create something, a loose man.
1 point Hawks lead as fetched that ball that was sent flying onto Boronia Road.
In essence, what Boronia need to do, their half-back line, is they need to do what Richards is doing. Take the game on a little bit and try and set something up forward.
Exciting game out here. Division 3 action. Two sides vying for a big 2017 and putting on a nice display for us here on Radio Eastern. Thrown up ball in the middle again. Henderson shoveled that one out to Burgess. Strong tackle. Running now with pace is Henderson. Gets it off the 1-2. Kick towards Robertson was poor. What can he do? Turns his man nicely. Little handball to Fairchild. Now out even wider to White. Goes back inside to McAlpine. Bumped off it strongly. White still following in hard for the Hawks. Somehow they get this one out. Comes out the back there to McKernan. Kick. They enjoyed it off the boot, but the umpire said it just grazed in for a point. But much impressive midfield work there from the Hawks, and
yeah, good ball movement there out of the middle.
They extend their lead to 2 points, and bang on. That clearance was superb. Linking hands. The kick wasn't great, and once again, it's still been a problem of theirs, but bit by bit, Gussie, improvement being shown by this Boronia side.
Very much so. Scoresby under the pump as they look to kick out now with Goldsworthy. Goldsworthy goes short and wide. Great spoil coming at the back there, and he's been paid a mark. This could be a cracking goal for Boronia, and it is. What a great finish there. Some super play from Ryan White.
Yeah,
Ryan White, excellent pressure with the goal.
Play of the day at the moment, I reckon, that one.
Yeah.
That was really, really good play by White. Took the ball, took the man on, managed to create the spoil, but still managed to get ball back.
Another contender for the Vibro goal of the day.
It was all about anticipation, wasn't it? It was like he was reading his mind. He saw the kick early, he went, committed himself, and that was just brilliant.
Too much height on that ball by Goldsworthy, I thought.
4-7-31 plays, 3-5-23, 20 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Josh.
Exciting game here of football. Boronia working their way back into it, extracted by Johnson. Handball off there to Dodd. Kicks poor once again, and Adam Bronski just comes in over the top. He's taken about 3 or 4 intercept marks like that, and he's got a man out wide in Milligan. Now they're out the pies. What can Milligan do? Ducks inside, takes a little bounce, was well corralled there by Goldsack, so had to go high inside 50, backing back with a flight, almost a ripper mark by Henderson. Numbers at the front there, it's Hicks. His kick was touched off the line as it went towards goal and just goes through for a minor score. Great pressure by Boronia, great courage by Henderson. Now the umpire's paid a free kick. It's going to go the way of Scoresby, I think. What's he done here? It is. Oh, that's shocking by Boronia. Giving away a certain goal. Something off the ball.
And they've just had all the momentum too, Boronia, in the last 5 minutes, and now they've given away.
Just chucked it away.
They've just given an absolute. That is a clanger in the real.
Yeah, it's Krawczyk who's going to get it directly in front. Easiest goal. Made the umpire work a little bit, but a goal nonetheless, and an absolute gift for Scoresby, who had drifted out of this game. Killer, a coach killer for Peter Brown. Scoresby tightened this game up. It's all locked, 4-7-31. Brash, he'd be pulling his hair out.
He'd be absolutely filthy on that. Absolutely.
I think it was something off the ball. We missed it, but it was a bit of a push and shove, I think, after that Henderson effort going back with the mark. I think one of them took particular dislike to it, and you just can't do that, especially after the little bit of dominance they've had to work themselves back into this game.
And momentum's a big thing too. And I mean, they just got back into the game, as you say, and then suddenly a silly mistake like that scores big out a goal, and then the whole thing can just turn around again.
The retaliator is always the one that gets caught.
21 and a half minutes played here at Tormore Reserve in the second term. Umpire to toss it up, D'Iso and Henderson to do battle in the ruck. Tap one down by Henderson, goes front and centre. The umpire's paid a free kick to Holding here. It's going the way of Scoresby.
Yeah, D'Iso. Oh no, sorry.
Milligan.
So Milligan goes to centre wing. Good kick, finds his intended teammate there, and Wade McConnon. Wade McConnon runs back quickly. Bit of a nothing kick, and long and high, but it's found its intended target. Goes long to centre half forward. Can it find a mark there in Hicks? Hicks brings the ball to ground, trying to find a handball target, couldn't quite do so. He picks it up again, Hicks goes wide toward the boundary line. Can he find his teammate there in Boxall? Great pressure there from Goodwin as he's going to see the ball over the boundary line. It's not going to stay in play. An intercept mark has been taken here by Scoresby. Scoresby go into the centre of the ground. Here's D'Iso, the big ruckman, with a big thumping kick to fall forward. Here's Hicks, got completely out-muscled there, and a good strong mark taken by Luke Leeson.
Bolton it is, and he's going to get 25 as well for Krawczyk just creeping over the mark. Just a little bit strong in that contest. You could argue for a little bit of holding there, Brash, but there was a fair bit of strength shown by Bolton to win that mark.
Yeah, well, the umpires are not tolerating any imperfection from either side this afternoon.
Bolton long down the line, poor kick.
Shocking.
Intercept mark and taken once again by Dylan Milligan. He's been great off the half-back line so far for the Magpies. Not many options presenting as players start to tire. And another poor kick and a good intercept mark taken there by Sam Goldsack. So, Boronia on centre wing go into the centre of the ground. Good present mark. It's been taken by Boronia. Good kick inbound from Robinson. Can he find a teammate? No, he can't. Another intercept mark, this time taken by Toby Richards. Scores now to slow the ball down, start moving a bit more methodically here. 23.5 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Richards runs off, touches the ball on the ground, goes long. He's got a bit of a foot race to compete with here. Well done, I think it might have been King or Milligan. Oh, got overrun though, and Boronia with the numbers at the back. Garrity had a number in support, went himself with the left boot, and smart kick there to find a teammate in Leeson. Dropped after he marked. Umpire let it go. 70 from home, right on the boundary. Leeson forced to move it on. Short, little chiseler has to be good. A strong mark by Robinson at centre half. He's been brilliant this quarter.
Good game. He's had a good game, Robertson.
Once again, though, it's this kick now inside 50 that's important. Lowers the eyes, over the head of Riposada there. Mopping it up nicely for the Pies was Hicks. And now Milligan can rebound, so a bit easy, although it's going to go straight back to Garrett Burgess, it was, sorry. Diving in over the top was Bell. I think he's given a free away. He has. Advantage taken by Scoresby. Bronzegeist out in front, just had to hit him. Poor kick. And now, although bit of life taken there by Jared Hicks, run down and a tackle by Lake. Umpire says holding the ball. Lucky there by Boronia, Brash, because Scoresby were out.
Yeah, Boronia were really caught out of position, but the bounce of the ball actually saved them.
And a great tackle by Lake, almost goal-saving, you could argue. Just has to slow it down, you feel. There's 25 minutes gone. We've only had 3 goals in this term. That kick was pretty short. Umpire told her to play it on. Risky, coming in well over the top there. It's Goldsack. Goes back in the middle. Krawczyk got a hand in. In fact, sorry, it was Goldsworthy. Stunning mark, brought it down with one hand into his chest. Chance now for Scoresby late in this second term. Got to be clean with their ball. Finds an easy target there in Ryan Hicks. One out by himself on the top of the 50. How can you let that happen as the siren sounds? It's going to take every single fibre that he's got in that right peg, but this would be, after a goal that was given away from a gifted free kick, this one would hurt just as much for Boronia if Scoresby and Ryan Hicks can kick this. Half-time siren sounded to put him in front at the main break. Kick on the way. It's going long. It's left. It's going to fall short, and Boronia players get the fist through, and it trickles through for a minor score. Could that be an interesting behind? We heard Peter Brown on the effects mic scream out he wasn't happy that his players let that go through for a behind.
No, well, you just never know, do you?
That means it's a tied score at half-time. It could be a crucial point here on EFL Game Day. Boronia and Scoresby 4-7-31, all locked up at half-time. We'll have all the analysis and information as well as the scores from the other game, Templestowe Park Orchards. Stay around, it's a huge one here on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM for your EFL Game Day here on Anzac Sunday.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Hope we win this weekend.
I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game.
Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase.
Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins.
It's win-win, man.
Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours.
Or your team membership.
At any Pancake Parlour this weekend.
Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out the latest news and feature articles. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos, and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to EFL.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best.
We want the best for our loved ones. Offer them the best advice, give them the best care. Throw the best parties to celebrate milestones and achievements. And when the time comes, you want to give them the best celebration of their life. So you wouldn't leave it to just anyone to organise. Tobin Brothers Funerals believe funerals can be a celebration of life and always strive to be innovative and contemporary. So celebrate your life the way you want. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
A new time and a new team, driving you home in 2016. Join a brand new lineup for The Huddle as the gang take a light-hearted look at the Eastern Football League every Friday night. More importantly, the team will reveal the ins and outs for this week's round of matches. The Huddle, 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday evening as you love it local. Bigger and better in season 2016, Netball EFL is back. The fastest growing competition in the eastern suburbs continues to expand. Don't miss the fast-paced action every Friday night across multiple venues. For more information or to get involved, head to efl.org.au.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
Up the Mitcham Tigers!
Ah, the Burners.
Let's go, Panthers.
What a mark! Let's go, doggies.
Tobin Brothers Funerals, serving all supporters in the Eastern Football League since 1934. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Welcome back to EFL Game Day out here at Tormore Reserve. Boronia, Scoresby, it's all tied up at half-time, 4-7-31 apiece. A pretty scrappy second term there with Boronia skipping out to a little bit of a lead with 2 goals on the trot, but some pretty poor and uncharacteristic errors from Boronia deep inside 50 to give a late free kick away to Matty Crawshick. Tied it all up. 2 goals to Ben Bronski and singles to Gunton and Crawshick there for the Magpies. And for the Hawks, 2 to Damon Fairchild in that first term and singles to Jake Godwin and a stunner from Ryan White. A bit of a tongue twister. I'm joined by Brett Beston at halftime here at Tormore. It's a tight tussle. We're just saying off air there that it's a very interesting game to analyse tactically because there have been a fair bit of errors both sides, and I think both coaches at halftime will be putting a little bit of fire behind their words. There you go,
Thank you,
microphone
Josh.
on.
I couldn't find the button.
Yeah, right.
Definitely. The kicking efficiency, we've gone on about it throughout the game, but it's been the story of the game. Both sides just not poor kicking efficiency, a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors, and really Scoresby are probably a bit lucky to be on level terms because they gave away that 50-metre penalty, or 25, and then there was the goal, which could easily have been kicked right at the end, so they're probably quite happy to be 31-all at half-time.
Wayne Brasher and Ray Baird as well, who's trundled his way down to say g'day in the box. Good afternoon to you, Ray. We're seeing quite an interesting game out there.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Look, I've only really seen that second quarter, but to me it's a game of turnovers. Both sides are turning the ball over. And in particularly Scoresby, I don't like the way they deliver the ball into the forward line. They're just bombing it down there. But having said that, their forwards aren't giving them anything either. Their forwards are very stagnant and not, even when they're running the ball into the forward line, the forwards are not leading and let the player kick it into the space. But it's certainly been a game of turnovers.
Yeah, Brash, you did touch on that forward line structure from Scoresby midway through that second term, and it wasn't quite working. Like Ray said, they've got big Jared Hicks down there, and his leading patterns aren't quite right, but they're not hitting him up as well either. It's a bit tricky, and I think something has to change there because they're not finding any goals in that respect.
I think one of the things, Josh, that I noticed, this is a ground where the centre half forwards really are not having any influence, and it always seems to happen at this ground. A bloke like Jared Hicks, right? I actually think Scoresby can actually... I reckon there's a height mismatch because he got Jared Lake on him. Jared Lake, yes, when the ball comes to the ground, he's able to take advantage of his youthful agility and run away from Ryan Hicks. So maybe... I know Ray was saying the fact that they weren't getting enough value out of their forward line, but maybe in this case... If you're going to play this ground, maybe it might pay to put maybe a Jared Hicks or Iso when he's resting, because he's also capable of kicking goals, and maybe try and exploit Lake's height and with the players coming through the midfield and kicking the ball long. Whereas Boronia very much are in the same boat. Unfortunately for them, their key forward in Robertson, right, is being forced to go wide to create activity for the forward line, and where he's needed most is where he's not. And
well, because he's trying to kick to someone where ideally he should be, because they haven't been able to find a target 25-30 out from goal.
And when Henderson is going down there to rest and play that forward role, what's actually happening is the delivery into the Boronia forward line. In fact, Ryan Henderson is playing himself out of position because he's running too far under or too far over the ball, and he's not able to get any sort of continuity whatsoever. I think the battle in the midfield, I think have broken pretty even.
It's even up. I mean, McConnell was well held that quarter. It wasn't really seen as much.
I reckon he's probably just run out of steam a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also think it's, so often in these games of football, it comes down to maybe 3 to 5 minutes of a side getting a quick run on and kicking 2 or 3 goals and then maintaining that momentum for the rest of the afternoon. I'm thinking this is where this game's going to head. I think if either side can get that 2 or 3 goal break, I think that's going to be the difference at the end of the day.
Brass, to me, the difference between the two sides with their entry into the forward line, Boronia mix it up a bit. Sometimes they go to the other side of the ground, and sometimes they come to this round. But from what I've seen with Scoresby, most of it is going forward down the corridor or slightly to the scoreboard side. Now, if they're going to continue with that bombing the ball into Hicks down there, that's okay. But the coaching staff at Scoresby would be very upset that the little guys like McConnell and all that, I haven't seen one effort where they've got front and centre. No. It's all right bombing the ball in, but you've got to have those guys front and centre who can, take advantage of that.
And I actually think, Josh, that the side closest to us, where the broadcast caravan is the attacking side of the ground, and that far side, it just seems a little bit slippery underfoot, and I just think the players are still caught in this mind. They always seem to want. It's more like the defensive side of the ground.
But, I mean, how often have we seen that? Even like we said, we play our Division 2 finals out here.
Yeah.
How often do we see that as well in those games?
It's ridiculous.
It's quite remarkable.
It's ridiculous, really, in the sense that the fact is that this is such a big ground, and we always turn around and say that in all honesty, the home club should be able to play their ground on their terms. They know all the nuances of the ground, and that's why I'm a little surprised that Boronia aren't being a lot more direct, or maybe just using this right half side of the ground rather than being sucked in over to that dead wing.
Brasta, is that because, look, from what I've seen, the back six of Scoresby have been terrific.
They have been.
And are they forcing Boronia to go wide because of that? So, so, there's not really much they can do. But, look, all I'd like to say is, with the scores level at half-time, one of these sides has got to step up because the game's there to be won.
Exactly right.
Both sides have really played some miserable sort of football with all the turnovers.
It's a bit like ring rust, isn't it?
If which either side now can take advantage, as you said, get a little bit of momentum, score when you got that momentum, and the game's up for grabs.
What about Brendan Rapasada? He's been very quiet for Scoresby. Could he be the one that gets up there and kicks a couple of goals in the third quarter?
I think they've got to lift completely over the whole ground, to be honest with you. He's one that certainly can,
I think, look, the key players for both sides, right, that haven't had any influence of the game, you can turn around and say that both Boronia, the key playmakers for both sides, Boronia and Scoresby, need to get more involved in the contest. I just think that one of the things that the Scoresby backline was doing was, through Richards, was he was prepared to run and carry and take the ball long.
Wasn't he fantastic? We saw it a couple of times, just going straight through the middle like we said, like we wanted to see. And look, I think as a coach as well, look, if that doesn't come off, it can hurt you sometimes if your players are running forward of the ball, but you definitely much prefer seeing a guy take it on, link up handball, and the way he tore it through, I think, Brett, you called it pretty well. It was just, it was stunning. It opened the game up. The kick didn't quite work out, but hey, it's got you inside 50. It's got a much more attacking style, and it's going to be more impacting on the opposition defence.
A coach is going to be, a coach will always praise the positive, and always not criticise, but also remind you of the negative. At the end of the day, football's sometimes about creativity and positivity, and that's what the Scoresby halfback line have been able to do. I think Boronia's halfback line have been a little bit gun shy in the fact that they just haven't been prepared. They're just prepared to hold possession in the back line and handball to get themselves out of trouble rather than looking further down the field for better options.
We do have an updated score now coming from the Templestowe game, and it's a pretty big lead that Tempe hold over Park Orchards. It's 49 points at half-time, so it's a pretty big statement there from the Dockers. Big thanks to Nathan Franklin doing some roving reporting out there for us. That's a big statement early. We know Park Orchards looked quite impressive last week, and Templestowe would be pretty disappointed with that effort, Brash. That's a big statement they've come out and shown.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, look, when we're looking at the opening rounds of any football season in all divisions, sometimes it's really hard to get a line on sides. You know, look, Templestowe on face value to the rank and file punters, so to speak, last week, we would have been disappointed with their performance, but so far, Park Orchards, I don't know, it seems like every time they go to Tempe, they just don't seem to be able to play that ground, and I think Templestowe, with that 50-point lead, they'll control the contest for the afternoon.
I said on the huddle the other night, I said, look, don't worry about sides that haven't won a game yet, two games in or whatever, because we're not going to get a fix on any of the four divisions, in my opinion, till 6 games have been played.
Well, let's have a bit of a look while we've got it. The players still not yet out on the ground. A couple of the other results from Division 3. I know we touched on them on EFL Sunday, but there were some interesting ones. Heathmont Ringwood, the Parker Cup, that went pretty comfortably the way of the Jets, and they are looking impressive. We did touch on this game on the huddle on Friday, Ray, and that's a solid win. And once again, Ringwood still struggling to kick a winning score, only 8 goals for the day.
Yeah, well, look, but you look at their history over the last couple of years, Josh, they've always been slow starters anyway, you know, so for whatever reason it's, and they've come home in the last 2 seasons like a train.
Yeah, but that's really frustrating for a coach, right?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because the thing is, look, I mean, not Josh, but Gus sort of alluded to the fact that Ringwood probably still haven't got their best side on the thing, but you can't keep using that every single year as an excuse. You just can't do it. You know, somewhere along the line, Paddy Bowden's a smart operator, right? He'll be equally as frustrated, right? The fact that his side once again is starting behind the 8 ball. The other thing that I'm still a little bit concerned about, I know we're not going to get an indication, but some of the margins in Division 3 so far this season, Josh, is a bit worrying for me.
A little bit worrying. We've got another close, tight one out here at Tormore Reserve. We'll have a quick break before the third quarter gets underway. Stay tuned, though. It's a ripper third term coming up. 31 apiece out here at Tormore for EFL Sunday.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. I've got some weekend goals. Like what? First, wake up around lunchtime. Oh, yeah. Second, go into Pancake Parlour and get one of their traditional breakfasts because it's served till 5 p.m. every day.
Oh, you got to go to Pancake Parlour for your weekend goals. Yeah, what else?
And then when I'm all full,
yeah, like in your belly,
just sit on the couch and watch me team kick some winning goals.
Bang,
goal! Oh, Pancake Parlour's weekend goals.
Up and about and lovely.
Program sponsor.
A new time and a new team, driving you home in 2016. Join a brand new lineup for The Huddle as the gang take a light-hearted look at the Eastern Football League every Friday night. More importantly, the team will reveal the ins and outs for this week's round of matches. The Huddle, 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday evening as you love it local.
Up the Mitcham Tigers!
Down the Burners!
Let's go, Panthers!
What a mark! Let's go, doggies!
Tobin Brothers Funerals, serving all supporters in the Eastern Football League since 1934. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Nothing better than a companion to keep you up to date with all the latest when you're at the footy. Better still, one that fits in your back pocket. The Eastern Footballer is a must-read. All the latest information, team lists, feature articles and much, much more. Pick up your copy this weekend as you love it local across the Eastern Football League.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday. From 10 till 12 every Sunday morning, EFL Media Team
Barry was a great guy, a real larrikin. He loved his footy, was a loyal Carlton supporter. This year's our year, he'd say. He always had Slim Dusty blaring through the speakers. So, at Barry's send-off, his coffin was painted navy blue, and Slim Dusty's looking forward, looking back filled the room.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday. From 10 till 12 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders, following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to the biggest names from across the league each and every week. EFL Sunday, from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Not many better places you could be on a Sunday than here at Tormore Reserve. That's where we are, at least. And I tell you what, if you're down around the Boronia area, why wouldn't you just skip on down? It's quality weather, quality football, hard attacking, and hopefully a little bit faster. Hopefully that's what both Peter Brown and Brent King got into his troops at halftime. Both sides are back on the field. 4-7-31 apiece is the halftime margin. And we were just saying, boys, still quite a warm one out here. So it's going to be a good test as well of the fitness and the running levels. Of course, these guys haven't played a game prior to this for about 14, 15 days. I know Pete Brown said that it was about managing these players, and, well, hey, a perfect test for it in these sort of conditions.
Well, I mean, when we talked to Pete Banfield early this morning, when I asked him about that break after that really heavy condition game that North Ringwood played, he said, yes, actually, the break actually worked in our favour a little bit, whereas I think it might be working the opposite here. These guys look a little bit rusty and probably aren't in full match mode. But nonetheless, these are the times early in the season where if you're not playing your best football and you can steal a 4-point, can it help towards the end of the year?
Gus McLeod walks back into commentary position, and you just floated around out there, Boronia Reserve. A very, very popular man in an AFL jacket you are, Gussie. What was the mood out there from some of the Boronia fans? What are their thoughts on this game so far?
I'll tell you what the mood was. Some of the boys lining up for the barbecue, and they found there was no hamburgers left. They weren't happy about that. Myself included. But the Scoresby fans that I had a few of a chat with, they kept saying that the Brognese boys, they provide such run and carry for this football team. Without them, they feel there might be in a bit of strife. And I can't help but agree with that. They've been quite provincial this time.
Well, we didn't really mention them in the halftime break there, Brash, but Adam Bronsgeest in particular across that half-back line and even deeper still as well, he's just going up unmanned. Kind of a bit reminds me of a Shane Tennant sort of type. No fear for his body. He's just going to go fly at everything, but he hasn't even been contested most of the times. And that comes back to those problems we spoke about with those Boronia forwards.
I think the thing with the two Bronsgeest boys, what they bring, right, is they bring a bit of mouse and a little bit of, je ne sais quoi.
Oh, jeez.
Well, yes.
We spent some time in Europe
Can we have subtitles?
Last year,
but I'm just...
for our French listeners.
I just reckon when look, they play that, because they were able to read the ball well, playing either forward or back, they just have the ability to put themselves in a position where they can do the most amount of damage. And I just think, Josh, that as the game progresses and it could get a little tight, expect the Bronsgeest boys maybe to turn on a little bit of magic.
Very well said there from our European correspondent at times, Wayne Brasher.
But I still got it wrong too.
Half-time at Tormore Reserve. We're almost set to get underway though for the third quarter. Players in positions. It's going to be a belter. It's all tied up at 31 apiece. Siren sounds. We're back underway. Who's going to get the hot start? Let's see if Henderson can dictate from the ruck. He can. Hasn't won many a tap today. Following up, though, nicely out of the middle for Scoresby was Hicks. And they get the first sort of half clearance out towards half forward. Taking on the tackle there was Duncan, and he's pinned for a throw. Great tackle applied there. That was Brian White, who kicked a superb goal in the second quarter. Opens up the field with a raking right foot kick into the path of McKernan. Has to turn his opponent and come back on the left. His kick was poor, and leading all comers to the ball there was Williams. Being superb across half back. Finds Adam Bronsgeest, who's pushed up the ground. Good kick towards centre half forward. Trailing the ball was Hicks, so McKernan can follow it up. Strong tackling there in there was Dodd too. Scoresby still keep this ball alive. Bolton jumps in for the Hawks and locks it up on top of the 50.
Hicks looking a bit slow, running from behind, boys. He can't quite get and a breakout on his opponent as the umpire throws it up. Speaking of Hicks, he does the ruck work, taps it straight to an opposition player in Lake. Ball with the numbers here for Scoresby. Great little tap on there from Anderson. Anderson going to use his trusty left boot now to slingshot the ball into the forward 50. Big, strong, attempted mark there from Broggs East. And a big crunching tackle coming in over the back there was Gunton.
I think Big Ryan Hicks had some injury problems throughout the cricket season, which hampered his fitness levels, Gus.
No excuses, Brash, as the ball gets balled up once again into Tormore reserve. Great work here from Gunton. Gunton might be worth having a shot for goal, and since he goes to the hot spot, running back with the flight was Crawshaw. Boronia had the numbers out the back, and they're going to rebound through Bolton. Bolton goes down the line, couldn't quite find a target. Hicks looks over his eyes. Play on is the call. Milligan, turnover. Now Boronia have the numbers. Pressure's being heavily applied there on Burgess.
That was
found away to the
terrible.
opposition. Number 7, it's Hicks. Hicks has a shot on goal, and it's been stopped on the line by Boronia.
That was a
great
terrible
defensive
effort.
work there from Cassidy.
They should have been punished then.
Yeah.
Cassidy, short chip kick over the top, finds his intended teammate there. Now Boronia have the ball deep in their back pocket, but look to open up the middle of the ground. Good mark there, taken by McKernan. McKernan goes to switch. He has a target out here in Leeson. Leeson marks. The running carry options running too far ahead of the plays. He looks to go wide down the boundary line, finds his target there in Burgess. Burgess handballs to the middle of the ground. Good kick off the boot there from Goodwin. Brognies might have get away with pushing the back there. He does, an umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think the umpire was blinded.
He was on the wrong side there, Josh.
Stiff there was Garrett. He got cleaned up. He's holding his head as he comes up from that contest.
So the ball up right on the 50 badge of the Boronia goals.
Gee, your eyesight's good, Gus.
Boronia have the numbers there with McKernan. Big crunching tackle there on Owen. The umpire says holding the ball. I'm not sure if I agree with that one, Josh. I don't reckon he had too much prior opportunity. But nonetheless, McKernan sends the ball to the hot spot, looking for the running back with a flight mark. Dropped back there by Boronia. Now a big crunching tackle comes in from Toby Richards. I reckon he should have just gone back there, McKernan, and maybe sort of steadied himself at a set shot.
We've seen it before. Rush problems from Boronia. Just not too many cool heads as they've got it deep inside 50. Early stages, third term, 31 apiece. Great work in there once again, though, was McKernan. Couldn't get a handball out, locked up.
Unfortunately for Ryan Henderson, there's been a lot of ball directed to him, but he just hasn't been able to take a grab.
Haddon at the back gets the tap down for Boronia. Here's that man, McKernan again. Tap to an advantage. Now the other Haddon, Josh. Quick 1-2, they're out here. Here's that man, Henderson. Kick on goal is good. Strong just to the right. Geez, it made the umpire work. And unfortunately for Ryan Henderson, who, as I said, Brush has tried hard, but hasn't had quite the impact he wanted to.
Been second in the ball most of the day, apart from that one-off lead in the first quarter, boys.
Yeah, and that minor score gives Boronia back the lead by a solitary point. Good clearing kick to Goldsworthy from Bronzegeese, and Scoresby looked to repel, but strong fist there by Dodd. Brings it to ground. Still fighting on hands and knees is Rutherford, who's been pretty strong down back for Boronia, and sees it out over the boundary line. Good result for the Hawks.
First goal will be really crucial here in the third quarter. 4.5 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Boundary throw-in comes in. Deiso and Henderson to do ruck. Ball will hit the ground before the ruckman could even meet it. Big crunching tackle coming in there from Duncan as the ball spills out the back. Going over the footy with his head first was Rutherford. I think he's going to be free kick paid against him there. No, he's going to win the free kick here, Rutherford.
Umpire took a lot of point in the direction.
Couldn't quite figure out what this means. Nonetheless, Rutherford goes long to the forward line, and have taken a mark in open space was Henderson. No one manning up on him. Now Ryan Henderson has an opportunity to kick his first goal of the game.
Well, it's not out of his range. He should be able to kick this goal. When he's on song, Ryan Henderson is a beautiful kick. So distance shouldn't be a problem. Accuracy could be.
A little bit of breeze swirling around Tormore reserve. Henderson will kick this one from right in front of the scoreboard here at Tormore. Here's Ryan Henderson to create a 7-point buffer for the Hawks. Kicks on the way. Looks all right off the boot. Goal umpires moving to the right-hand side. Just the behind there, not the desired result. Nonetheless, Boronia move out to a 2-point lead as Brognies plays on quickly, goes long down the line. Chasing tail here is Duncan. Goldsworthy swings the ball on the left foot. Got numbers at the back here in Krosick. Here's Krosick, looks inbound, trying to find a target there and playing in front of his man. Once again, Jared Hicks trailing his opponent. Good strong mark taken there for Boronia. Really good play there from Rutherford. Rutherford goes back down to where the ball came from. Running back of the flight. Good strong mark taken there.
Anderson, he's starting to get active, Brett.
He certainly is, yep. He's been a bit quiet in the first 2 quarters, but he's getting into the game very nicely.
Getting his hands on it with a strong contested mark there across half back, and looks to move it on. A bit more run, although White has nowhere to go. Well corralled, has to be clean. Handball to Henderson, was under pressure. Now some time for Dodd to mop up. Still not a great one. Bolton is under the pump. Scoresby pressing here on Boronia. Can they work it out just? Hannon marks in the centre square. Not a lot to go for, so dumps it long in the direction of a teammate there in Fairchild. Over his head, Robinson out of traffic. Run down, holding the ball. The eyes lit up when he saw the space, but unfortunately for him, Toby Richards saw him first. Now Scoresby once again look to repel. Well held up though, and Hicks has to push back. Little chipping ball over the top to Berthasell. Berthasell's got an option. Bronzegeist, a shocker. You might have picked up the frustration there on the effects mic.
Wayne Brasher special right there.
Out of bounds on the full. Sam Goldsack with the free kick now in front of the Scoresby box. Goldsack.
Oh,
too much height on that kick. Good fist over the top from Goldsworthy. Richards now Diozo. Has to be clean. On hands and knees. Robinson. Great follow-up tackle and locks it up on the point of the square. Boronia attacking half of the field.
Tell you what, it's been much the same in the opening 8 minutes here. Just a really titanic, tight struggle here. Neither side can find any advantage whatsoever.
It's great to watch. It's hard footy at its best. Great tap there by Diozo. Out the back though is Geraghty for Boronia. White throws it on the boot. Solid one-on-ones. Great work by Bronzegeist. Brings it to the back. Fighting hard still there as well as Owen. It's been great today. Gets a little fist out along the boundary line. Will it stay in? It does just. Great kick smothered. Playing on. Fairchild now. Now out the back. Finds Johnson. Still alive for Boronia. Snap on goal. We're going to fall right in the top of the square. Coming in from the side. Brilliant punch. Scoresby force it behind. Fantastic work. I think it might have been Toby Richards.
Yep.
Wasn't a lot of talk there by the Boronia forwards. 2 up and none around the crumbing.
4:10:34 Boronia. They're pressing, just can't find that goal. Leading Scoresby still. 4:7:31. Bronzegeist once again with the kick out.
Bronzegeist goes long up the ground.
Oh.
Interesting kick, but it found Diozo. Diozo plays on with no hurry whatsoever. Kicks to Hicks once again, trailing his opponent. The handball's worked out all right. Ball in the hands now of Roberts. Roberts goes deep into the forward line. Here's Krosick. Krosick picks up. Great clean hands. Goes inbound, finds the Scoresby opponent. Should have been done for holding the ball there, but he got the ball away. Now Boronia can transition. Need a clean position here. The boundary line's probably going to beat them to it. Great way kept in there by Cassidy. Handball back from Leeson, finds his teammate there in Bolton. Bolton goes wide for the switch kick. Found his target here in Hannon. Hannon goes long down the boundary line.
Here's a chance.
Now they're on here through Johnson. Johnson goes long, trying to hit a target at centre half forward. Should have taken the mark there was Robinson, and he's going to pay the price here. Oh no, great work there from Robinson, knocked the ball forward. Ball shooting in front of the scoreboard here at Boronia. And the ball's just going to roll across the boundary line now, I think. Well kept in play. Now Scoresby will launch their own counter-attack at the half-back line, but the kick was poor. Goes out of bounds on the full.
Gee, some great second efforts. Brendan Rapisada was superb there, tapping the ball on the ground, and so too was this man who's just taken the mark in Robinson.
Game's not getting any slower, is it?
Handball off to Hannon. Low drilling ball to Henderson. In fact, it's not Henderson.
It's one of the Hannon boys.
It is one of the Hannon boys. I think it's Josh,
yeah,
who's been
8.
spending most of the time in the ruck.
Yeah, Josh Hannon.
There we go. So great leader and a different target up forward for Boronia. Has found a nice leading mark and a chance to kick the first goal of the third. Doesn't waste any time with his set shot. 40 out, directly in front. Hannon, much needed goal for the Hawks. Kick is good. Does it hold its line? It does. Great goal by Hannon. He lets a few of the Pies know about it as well. Boronia, the first goal of this all-important third term. 5:10:40. They skip out to a 9-point lead now. Scoresby 4-7-31 Brash.
Well, look, I reckon they've had the majority of play in the opening 10 minutes. They've peppered the goals. You know, obviously, Hannon, really good reward there for effort, and a really good pass there by Luke Johnson. Put it right out in front of him, gave the Scoresby backman no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, things have really turned around, haven't they? Boronia probably Scoresby had the better of the first sort of the second quarter, but Boronia have come out in this third quarter and they're really on fire.
Scoresby need to respond here, and that's going to start in the centre of the ground. Dieso on the tap down, only as far as Boronia opposition. Now they've got a set of a semi-clearance and they're out of the ground here through Duncan. Duncan sends the ball long. Where's Hicks? Hicks through there, but front and centre was Crawshaw. Hicks dropped the footy there, unlucky not to get the free kick. Great crunching tackle coming in over the back there was Lake. Of a ball up deep in the forward 54 Scoresby. Bit of push and shove there with Brogneast.
They actually had a 3-on-1 there for a fleeting sec there, Scoresby, but just Gus, they just couldn't take advantage of it.
So ball up now, Hicks did the ruck work with Henderson. Hicks won the tap down straight into the lap of his teammate. But once again, the big crunching tackle coming in from Brenton McAlpine. He's been rock solid down back. Ball up once again. Hicks with a nothing tap, trying to find Duncan, didn't quite pay off. Versatile. Once again, we'll have a ball up in the same spot. Deep in the Scoresby forward line, I should say. Hicks loses the ruck battle there, trying to find McConnell. McConnell's tackled over the boundary line by Burgess.
I will say one thing, umpiring has been very good today. We've seen some hard football and some hard hits that some others might call for high or in the back, but they've let it go. They've paid the ones that have been there, but to be honest, it's been some very good officiating, I want to say.
So Hicks to do battle here with Henderson. Hicks won the tap down, trying to punch it as far as he can. Throws it under the boot, trying to find Burgess. Oh, and a shocking handball there from Brogneast, turned over. Now Boronia can counter-attack. This will be a gutsy bit of play here. Great pick up there from Hicks. Hicks trying to find his brother, but he was trailing once again. Lake with a great intercept mark for Boronia. He's been an anchor down back for the Hawks. He'll go long down the boundary line, trying to find a teammate here in Burgess. But a good strong mark over the back was Crawshick. Crawshick goes inbound, trying to find a target. That he does. Scoresby had the footy here at true centre half forward position. Forward 50 is flooded, so he goes long to the hot spot, trying to find Hicks. Hicks is two out, and a good strong mark once again by Josh Hannon.
Doing it at both ends.
Hicks has just been too slow behind the play all day. Can't quite get his hands on the footy. Might be the long sleeves. Ball's in the meantime been switched out to Fairchild. Fairchild has the ball right on the arc of 50. Mount down alongside of Tormore Reserve. Umpire tells him to move it on. That he does, comes inbound, finds his teammate there in Casterin. Casterin, short kick down the boundary line, finds his teammate there.
Oh.
Got hit high by Crawshick. Don't know if the Boronia players will like this too much. Paid a 25-metre penalty. No, he hasn't. He's told him to go back. Great gutsy play there from Robinson.
Well, there maybe Brash was an instance that maybe yellow card could have been possibly rewarded.
Yes.
So Robinson, long down the boundary line of Tormore Reserve, trying to find a teammate. Big fly from Henderson. Ball trickles out the back of the pack. Numbers with Scoresby. Big crunching tackle there from Goldsack. Scoresby had the numbers now through King. King looking to rebound, but the handball was poor. Got a player down behind play. I think it's McConnon. In the meantime, Boronia launching their forward line. Where's Henderson? Once again, Adam Brogneast out the back of the pack. Now they look to switch the play. That man who was down, he's got up on his feet. Wade McConnon using that trusty right boot. What a great hit out. Finds his intended teammate. And Boxall. Boxall has the ball on the wing, has plenty of options inbound, but elects to go long down the line. A bit of a mongrel kick. Brogneast with a spoil from behind. The ball goes over the boundary line and out for a boundary throw in right in front of the Scoresby coaches' boxes. We played 15 minutes here at Tormore Reserve. Boronia 5-10-40 plays Scoresby 4-7-31 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Plenty of movement on the Boronia bench, boys. I think that heat and perhaps a little bit of fatigue starting to kick in.
Out of the middle now is King for Scoresby. Kicked under pressure, so it went pretty darn high. Strong chest mark. Umpire said it was touched, though. It was. And was locked up in a pretty quick tackle. Jess Bolton coming off the ground. I think it was that contest right on the boundary line with Brongate. I think he might have been a bit of a hyperextended knee. Came down hard and it's been very good. Jess Bolton for Boronia, so we'll see if that impacts their defence at all. Not going to matter if they win contests like that out of the middle. Luke Hannon, great clearance. Robinson worked his opponent under the ball. Now another runner in Bell for Boronia, but they both misread it, kind of bumped into each other, and Scoresby can mop up. Kick to the far wing, chasing strong there is McAlpine for the Hawks. Did well, although his handball out towards White wasn't clean. Scoresby, strong fight this one. Hannon again, the Luke variety, takes it on, uses the runner in support in White. Has to stop and prop on the far wing. Kicks a low, dirty grubber. It's just going to find
And
an
that's
opponent
exactly
in
what it
Richards
was.
and then finds the boundary line.
You know, from what I'm seeing here is Boronia are looking far more impressive moving into the forward line, but they are butchering the ball in going into their forward 50.
Oh, in fact, it's a free kick. It's gone against Richards for out of bounds. So Rapisada can push it in quickly. Henderson, the flyer at the front, couldn't mark. Great work over the top by a teammate in Berthasell for Scoresby. Kick out of the contest, just a behind for Boronia. 5-11-41, 10-point leaders now over Scoresby, 4-7-31, who have yet to score in this all-important third term. Bronzegeist with the kick out, told to move it on, and a nice kick to his teammate there in Duncan. Umpire pays 25 against Rapisada for overstepping the mark.
They've been consistent on that with the player crouching over the mark, and the umpires have been right on it this afternoon.
So Duncan moved all the way up to defensive square, I guess. And now we'll kick up towards the wing. Here's the flyer in Hicks. Once again, Rutherford beats him in the one-on-one. Now Burgess out the back. Good handball to White. Now they're away if they can be clean. Tried to find Burgess, wasn't clean. Got too close to the boundary line, and out of bounds it goes right in front of our broadcast position. Exciting contest. 10-point Hawk leads. It's been tight all day. Hasn't stretched out to much further than this, so Scoresby be keen to get a goal. Beats all the rucks. Over the back there was King. Good snapping kick out of pressure, but leading Crawshick to the ball there was Jared Lake.
Had a good quarter, Lake.
His handball out towards the White direction. Has to pick it up in the running tackle. Got it out well to Luke Hannon, who's had a superb little couple minutes out towards the Garrity direction, but overran it. Attacked it hard a second time, but once again Scoresby holding out well. Out to Rapisada somehow. And out of a little bit of nothing, a nice Boronia goal. He found some space on the outside of a hot contest. Garrity was superb with second efforts, and a really strong handball there from McKernan to find his teammate Rapisada. Made no mistake from 20 out, and that's a big one again in the context of this game. 6-11-47 Boronia. Now out to a game-high 16-point lead. Scoresby 4-7-31.
Game on a bit of a knife edge, isn't it? I mean, it's been so tight right through, and to get out to 10 points, he just felt that next goal was absolutely crucial, and it's gone the way of Boronia. So I think Scoresby now, well, it's absolutely critical that they're the next scorer.
Scoresby trailing now by 16 points. Boronia just starting to create a buffer.
They just seem to be getting a few more numbers around the contest, Boronia, in these clutch situations.
And a bit of tight legs as well, I think, from Scoresby.
Yeah, they are looking a bit leg weary.
So Dieso to do battle in the ruck once again with Hannon. Tap one by Dieso. There's plenty of Brown Hawk jumpers there. Handball to Hannon. Hannon trying to handball it only as far as White and Black jumper and Gunton. Gunton sends the ball long. Big fist out the back there from Lake. Only as far as Gunton. Gunton done for holding the ball, I think, here.
High on it.
That was a good tackle there. Tried to bust the pack.
I think it's Leeson.
Yeah, good strong tackle there from Leeson. Leeson switches wide. Finds his intended teammate there.
It's almost instinctive that they're going to that defensive wing.
Lake hits up a short target in Burgess. Boronia looking to slow the play down a little bit here. Might be a bit too early for that.
I agree, Gus.
So Burgess probably has to go long down the line here. That he does. Trying to find a teammate. Coming out the back of the pack there was Hicks. Crawshaik's there for Scoresby. What can he do here? Big crunching tackle. We've managed to get the handball out to Hannon. Hannon managed to get the ball in his left boot. Great strong pick up there from Duncan. Ball's turned over once again, but Scoresby now can counter. Great handball over the top there to King. Can he find a teammate? He can. Holding the ball there, surely, from Williams. Umpire's wave pay on. Williams arguing the umpire saying he was tripped.
Boronia are making their own luck at the moment, Josh, and I reckon they're just getting those little 50-50s go their way.
So now Boronia, defence will have to really hold up here. Scoresby looking to go forward and create a goal. No pressure in the ruck there for Burgess. Great pick up there from Milligan, and he's crunched into the ground.
Tell you what, the Hannon boys have been huge this quarter, especially Josh in the ruck. Kicked that goal early, but D'Oyes has gone out of it for Scoresby, and it's been all Boronia in the ruck this term.
So, tap taken out of the ruck there by Hannon. Trying to put the ball to his advantage of his teammate. Hicks playing behind the footy now, being an anchor sort of a role. Hicks slams the ball into his boot, goes long down the line. Broggs was there, but great intercept play there from Casterin. He switches the play, finds his teammate here in Hannon. Umpire hasn't paid that one for creeping over the mark, but Hannon looks to go short to his teammate here in Casterin. Casterin goes inbound, shocking kick, but it finds his target in Leeson. Leeson waiting, holding the ball. Surely umpire pays advantage. Scoresby can counter-attack now. Ball goes out to centre half forward. Can there be a Scoresby player here to mop it up? That he can, but it's a handball straight into the hands of Burgess for the opposition. And it punched the ball over the boundary line right in front of the broadcast position here for Boronia.
In essence, there was no advantage there for Scoresby.
Under the pump, the Pies yet to score this term, and Boronia are pushing everything forward. Lots of run, winning the defensive battles, and the kicking goals, and Hannon has been dominant in the ruck. Brings it down to Leeson, trickling kick, one out there, and really worked well is with McKernan.
Unlucky not to keep it in.
Yeah, he couldn't keep it in. He was out if he could. So he'll be thrown in, 50 out from Boronia's goal. They lead this game by 16 points. It's the most they've led today. Tossed in again. Hannon uncontested in the ruck. McKernan couldn't quite. At the front of the ball was Gunton, and Scoresby going to try and get it out. Leeson ripped it out of his opponent's hand in a tackle and wrapped up in another one of his own. So
he's probably lucky not to get pinged there, the Scoresby footballer. He just lowered his knees just at the right moment and caught the umpire just on his blind side.
Yeah, it was king in that contest for Scoresby, who got away with it as Hannon brings it down to his brother Luke. Strong tackle again there by Goldsworthy, and the umpire's pulled a free out of this. The non-officiating umpire for a bit of a sling. Casterton looking to move it on quickly. Got lots of options. Goes short, it's a poor one. Made Leeson work, and at the front, Bronsgeest runs away. Kicks to his brother now. It's a teammate in Ben Bronsgeest. Looks over the top, snapping ball into the path of another attacking forward in Williams, who's pushed up the ground. Gets the handball back to Benny Bronsgeest now. Over the top, pressure on Boxall. Has to be clean. In fact, it's D'Oyes who's pushed forward. Soccers it out to a teammate's path. Kick towards a square, marked by Hicks. Ryan Hicks, and quite unbelievable. Scoresby have made something out of nothing.
Exactly.
Hicks has a goal from right in the square.
Boys, interesting they've thrown the Hicks on the other end of the ground. Jared Hicks has gone down back. Ryan gone forward here, Brash. Interesting move. Think should pay off here.
Had to try and change the dynamics a bit here, King.
This is from directly in front. That is unbelievable.
Commentator cursed him there.
Oh, actually, not even a commentator curse. Just a team curse. You haven't kicked a goal for 24 minutes in a quarter. That's a shocker.
But
I'm sorry, Ryan Hicks, you can't be doing that.
Worrying for Boronia though, because that just almost happened in slow motion. It was a pretty ugly transition down the ground, and how it actually got there, Boronia really should have cut it off, you would have thought.
They get out of it, and a strong mark taken by Hannon. He tried to find his brother, not to be. Goldsworthy, the interceptor. Scoresby a chance to go again. Great fish from behind, falls to Casterton. Now Hannon has a mark, umpire told him to play on. McConnon tried bringing it down, wrapped up in a strong tackle. We balled up, 60 out from goal.
The umpire's pulled a free kick downfield here, or back from the original contest. Obviously, there was a heavy shepherd there on.
It's going to Bronsgeest.
Yeah, on Ben Bronsgeest. So, look, here's an opportunity again for Scoresby to hit the scoreboard.
Benny Bronsgeest. He's kicked 2 today in the first term, and this would be the second goal caused by off the ball incidents against Boronia. If he can go back and kick it, it's a tough one. Real tight angle. Distance should be a concern. Going to go right to the line. Just going to get a hand on it. Just thought it might have snuck through. I think the Scoresby fans did as well, but a minor score it is. 6-11-47 Boronia. Scoresby 4-9-33. A goal here, Gusty, late in this term would certainly tighten this game up, but it'd be handy for Scoresby because they've been out of it.
26 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
It was an ugly kick though, wasn't it?
It was.
He didn't make good contact
just
at all.
Joe Rutherford just limping off there a little bit, and looks in a bad way as the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to hurt him. He's been superb. I think it's him as he makes his way off. There's been a couple of guys injured.
Boronia just need to hold it up here whilst they get Rutherford off the ground. They don't want to be caught being one short in their back line.
Would be smart if they sent a forward down there to cover that, but in the meantime, they've won the footy. Umpire should pay a Pregame gear for holding the footy. That he does. And Wade McConnell's going to have to give a big torpedo punt after the siren. This will test his little legs.
Well, you said the commentator cursed before, Gussie. Has he got it in him?
No, well, those tattoos, I reckon he's got a pretty strong leg, mate. He should give us one a fair old roost. They're hard to miss, those tattoos. Here's Wade McConnell to narrow the margin. Wouldn't quite back it in from there, but you never know. And it's probably going to fall short, this one. That it does. So at three-quarter time here at Tormore Reserve, it's Boronia 6:11:47 playing Scoresby 4:9:33 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. This is EFL Game Day on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. a1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
A new time and a new team. New home in 2016. Join a brand new lineup for The Huddle as the gang take a light-hearted look at the Eastern Football League every Friday night. More importantly, the team will reveal the ins and outs for this week's round of matches. 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday evening as you love it local. EFL.org.au is the place to be online for all the latest on the Eastern Football League. Keep up to date by checking out. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos, and best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. Head to EFL.org.au. The Eastern Football League. Local footy at its best.
Up the Mitcham Tigers!
The Burners.
Let's go, Panthers.
Yeah, Mark. Let's go, doggies.
Tobin Brothers Funeral, serving all supporters in the Eastern Football League since 1934. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Hope we win this weekend.
I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game.
Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase.
Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins.
It's win-win, man.
Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours.
Or your team membership.
At any Pancake Parlour this weekend.
Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday. From 10 till 12 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders, following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to the biggest names from across the league each and every week. EFL Sunday, from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Welcome back to Tormore Reserve on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It is Boronia 6:11:47 playing Scoresby 4:9:33, boys. Very interesting quarter of football there. Scoresby had their chances but couldn't convert, Brash.
No, the opening 10 minutes of that third quarter, I just thought Boronia was slowly but surely getting on top. I just thought, Gus, that they just had a few more numbers around the contest, and they just were winning those little 50-50 turns of the ball, and probably were putting themselves in a position. They looked a lot more dangerous moving forward. I just think Scoresby, I think the steam's run out of them a little bit. They just the influence of D'Iso in the first half was, he looks like he's just run out of condition here, and they've lost their impetus in the ruck. They've had to make a few switches. They put Ryan Hicks down in back line now just to try and generate something, which hasn't really worked. That miss by Ryan Hicks on the stroke of three-quarter time, Cheapers.
That was a shocker, wasn't it?
One for the blooper reel.
Look, like you said, you're talking about coach killers. That's a play killer as well. I mean, because would have brought it back to 8 points. They had a little bit of momentum, but it almost seems like to me now that if Boronia will try and press home their advantage in the opening 5 minutes here. If they can get a couple of quick goals, Josh, I think it could be GO.
We spoke about the importance of some of these youngsters in both sides and who was going to come out on top. And Brett, with some of the names that had a real good crack at it for Boronia in that third term, you had both the Hannon boys were superb. Josh in the ruck and then went forward and kicked that impressive goal. And Luke as well, out of the guts, winning the ball, superb. And then you got a couple of experienced heads down back as well. But, gee, they were impressive, those Boronia guys. And we saw that, I guess, run and carry that Pete Brown spoke so positively about before the game.
Absolutely, yeah. Josh Hannon was fantastic, wasn't he? Because Diusa had such a good first half, and he was giving them first use out of the ruck. But Josh Hannon, I mean, just looking at the last, I'm not sure, the last probably 10 ruck contests, he probably won them all, and a couple of them were uncontested. He just had a field day.
Boys, what sort of things do you reckon the Scoresby coaching staff will be telling their players at this three-quarter time break? Because personally, I don't think they're out of this game just yet, but they'll need a quick goal, won't they?
They'll have to take the game on a little bit more. I think, Gus, and also too, maybe if worse gets to worse, put Diusa down at full forward because he is capable of kicking a goal. But apart from that, it's just the experienced guys of the two bronze, Grace Corsick and Goldsworthy and Mark Williams, who's been very quiet by his standards, might just have to up the ante here and take a few risks.
If I'm Brent King, I'm probably going to swing Wade McConnell forward, play him deep in the goal line, try and get him to create a few sparks, maybe a few goals, because I don't know if he's got a tank to run at the game in the guts, Josh. Yeah,
it's going to be a big ask, and he's definitely floated out of this game after a pretty strong first term. I think regardless of how much run as well that Scoresby show, you've got to be able to hit the targets. Jared Rutherford, Jared Lake, Jess Bolton, they've all had field days across the back line for Boronia because the ball's come in so high, so inconsistent in its pattern, and they've just been able to come in over the top. That they're bigger bodies as well for defenders, so that most of the time they've been winning the one-on-ones. And unfortunately for the likes of Jared Hicks, he's definitely had a tough day as a leading full forward. I don't mind that idea of Diusa going forward as a big strong target. We saw how strong he was in the ruck early days, so keep an eye on it, Brash, and see where those players go early as
I think Gus is right, because in essence, if you put Diusa there, I'd be telling Wade McConnell, let's kick the ball long to him and you rove to his crumbs. If he doesn't take the mark, McConnell's got to be front and square there because he can be dangerous around that forward pocket.
Well, he's such a strong body, Diusa, isn't he? So he's going to bring the ball to ground even if he can't mark it himself.
Well, maybe we should be coaches, because at the moment he's starting in the middle of the ground. But we put the onus on Brent King.
Like I said, the opening 5 minutes here is going to. I think this is where the game's going to be decided. The opening 5 minutes.
Let's see if he can turn it on, because he side trails by 14 points. But as Gus said, they're not out of it just yet. Waiting for the final fans to leave the ground. It's still a gorgeous day at Tormore Reserve.
Yeah.
Has been all day for your Anzac Sunday clash.
Actually, we've had good weather in Melbourne this weekend, so...
Just another reason why it's the best city in the world. Shout out to BWS, and anytime he brings up Sydney.
Beats Space Mountain, doesn't it?
Sorry, where?
Almost set to go. Final term action. EFL Anzac Sunday.
I'm waiting for a text message now, boys.
14-point leaders, the Hawks. Can Scoresby fight back into this one? They're going to try with Diusa in the ruck. Strong tackle applied on McConnell. Will get a free kick for holding the man. He does.
This will be key to see what they do with the footy here, Josh.
Gussie McLeod's man active early in the guts and looking for an option up forward. They all run forward to the ball, so he's going to have to go over the top of the defenders. He can't.
Oh, nice.
Incredible mark. Is that Rutherford? No, it's not. It's
number 18.
Dodd, who's also been pretty strong. Gives it to Bolton. Good kick towards a Robinson direction. Great mark. Brought it in close to his chest. He's been superb. Looks for the runner there in Fairchild. Running and leading into the ball. There was White. Great mark. Back with the flight. And it looks like he's going to go back and try and have a shot from right on the paint of 50.
This will test him.
That was quick turnover there by Boronia, but they moved the ball very quickly and caught Scoresby on the rebound there. Bit worried about that for Scoresby.
Slight angle for Ryan White, who kicked a stunner in the second term. This one's going to take some of his best as well. 14-point lead is the Hawks, this to extend it to 20. In comes White. Long kick. Looks all right. Gonna fall short. Who's gonna fly at the front? Almost Henderson it was. Great work by McConnell for Scoresby to mop it up. Handball at the back. Slapping around the corner is Fairchild. He's kicked a goal.
Another nomination for Vibro goal of the day for Fairchild. He's been a cracking presence up forward, hasn't he, Josh?
Two in the first. That was superb. Sat on the back of the pack and snapped over his head as easy as you like.
Let's give him the award now.
Why not?
He's already won it.
For
Damon
which one?
Fairchild.
Exactly
For both. Superb play. An early goal for Boronia. And that puts the pressure right back on Scoresby. 7-11-53. 20-point leaders now over Scoresby. 4-9-33. Superb crumbing and just knowledge of where those girls were, and Fairchild has 3 for the day.
Boys, just as they were transitioning the ball down the ground, Scoresby, Boronia, look at those Scoresby players. He's standing around, they've got hands on hips, they look cooked.
So is Boronia with like the 20-point buffer here in the fourth quarter. Tap one down by Henderson, does his own ruck work and roving work. Bombs the ball forward, only as far as his teammate. Send the ball forward as far as he can. Good strong mark on the lead.
Fairchild
has been taken. I think it's Burgess.
It is Burgess.
He's hurt. And he's that is not good for Burgess. Harry Burgess
could be cramp.
We'll check the replay here.
Could be cramp.
Or maybe a little bit of a knock to the knee there, Brash.
Possibly.
Fairly innocuous, but maybe, yeah.
But hey, great work by Damon Fairchild again across half forward. He was the man that rode the front of the pack
I reckon
and
he's
got
done
the
something,
kick into
boys.
Burgess.
He could be right, Gus.
Yeah, he's coming off
He's
limping.
done something. In the meantime, Brenton Rabasada will take the kick, and boys, this could be the first nail in the coffin if he puts this one through. I know it's early days, but you feel it'll be too hard for Scoresby to come back from this one. Here's Brendan Rapasada, should kick this one through. That he does. Great kick off the boot for Brendan Rapasada. That's his second goal of the day. What a cracking game of football he's played up front. Right now they move out to a 26-point buffer on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Boronia 8-11-59 playing Scoresby 4-9-53. 3.5 minutes played in the final term at Tormore Reserve.
Scoresby have to answer if they have any chance of staying in this game, and they've got to do it real quick because they're in very much danger of just dropping right away now.
Yeah, so looks buggered, doesn't he, boys, in the ruck?
He does, but the thing is, it's the Boronia midfield all of a sudden that have just taken control of the clearances.
Sparked,
Well called as well. Harry Burgess not in a good way as he came to the bench.
Knee expert.
Henderson.
And Henderson's really come into the game as well.
He's been terrific. Hannon as well, the youngster, running strong. Good number of tackles applied there. Umpire has no choice but to lock it up.
Man down for Scoresby as well.
Thrown up. Henderson gonna fight hard by the Soys. We had a couple of taps at that one. Cosentino out of the middle. Well held there is Hicks. Strong pressure applied by Rutherford, who's back on the ground for the Hawks. Diving in over that ball. Here he is again, gets a clearing kick. Well played, and the runner attacking this one will be Bell. Can he be clean? He's got Richards hot on his tail. Good support coming in from Henderson as well. Still Bell fighting hard. Strong tackle over the top by Scoresby, and they lock it up on the far wing.
But that was well done by Henderson there too. He created a stoppage when he knew he had no players within that 5-metre arc.
He's going to get absolutely manhandled in the ruck here. Free kick not paid. Doesn't matter because White runs it out from the stoppage. His kick, fingertips on it really well. There was Roberts, been quiet today.
Oh no.
Got a bit of a throw out. Umpire didn't see it. Wrapped up in a strong tackle and pinned. He's Brongeist.
Yeah.
He's been dominant all day. He's a floating half forward, but White. No, it's not White. It's Fairchild, the man of the moment. Second effort, wrapped him up, and we'll have a shot for goal for his fourth title on the boundary, 40 metres out.
I said the opening 5 minutes was going to tell us a story here, and the story's already been written because with a goal here to Fairchild, and I think it's victory will be coming Boronia's way.
Well, they just haven't responded, Scoresby, have they? I mean, they had to come out and make a statement. They haven't.
Thank you very
done
much.
so.
There's that goal, trundled in, kicked it, signed, sealed, delivered, you'd think, for the Hawks. Fourth for Fairchild. Supreme effort to tackle a man in Adam Brongeist who has done what he wants in that back line and finally stopped. And Boronia might have stopped Scoresby with that goal as well. 9-11-65, a super strong lead of 32 points over Scoresby's 4-9-33.
I can understand what Adam Brongeist was trying to do here, Josh, but sometimes fortune favours the bold, and it didn't come off in this case, and they paid the penalty for it.
Don't think Scoresby have scored a goal this half yet, boys.
No, they have not.
No.
So D'Iso to do ruck battle with Henderson. Bit of a nothing tap there. It's come out the front back for Crawshaw. Handball over the top, trying to find his teammate there, and Garrity for Boronia. Good hands there, finds a running target. Here's Leeson, goes long to the top of the goal square, but that's all Scoresby players back there. Good strong mark taken by Chapman. Chapman asks a lot of his teammate there, and he's going to turn the footy over. Here's Rapasada to put his third on the board. And it's just gone across to the right-hand side. He's been lively up forward, has Brendan Rapasada.
Once again, Scoresby just a little bit softer around the ball. Rapasada just bodied out his opponent far too easily.
Brognies with his trusty left shoe finds his teammate here in Dylan Milligan. Milligan being pressed hard back from Robinson. Milligan goes down the ground. Poor kick, intercepted well there by Goldsack. Goldsack finds his teammate here in McKernan. McKernan goes long down the centre half forward position, but a good strong mark taken there by Richards. Pardon, Owen. Owen goes back to his teammate in King. King goes long down the line. Ball's trickling towards the boundary line. Think it's going to beat his teammate there in Richards. Well done, Richards, to keep the footy in. This one is trailing towards the boundary line. Hannon's picked up the ball well. Finds his teammate there in Dodd. Dodd kicks the ball long. Good strong mark taken here. Boronia starting to get a bit of momentum. They used to use the centre of the ground here. Kick the centre half forward. Can they find a teammate? No. Great intercept mark there from King. King switches to Wade McConnon. True centre half back position. As the yellow brick road will block our broadcast for just a second. Ball's coming out towards the boundary line. Good strong pick up here from Hicks. Hicks goes inbound, trying to find a teammate there in Milligan. So here's Milligan, goes inbound. Good looking kick. Picked up on the bounce well there was Goldsworthy. Goldsworthy goes inbound now, trying to find a person at the back once again. Hicks trailing, and Crawshaw couldn't quite get there.
It had just ain't happening now for the Scoresby forward line.
Great mark by Corey Burgess. Goes short. Finds Johnson. Moves it on quickly. Series of handballs to Dodd. Dodd the Garrity direction. Coming in over the top was Chapman. A good spoil. Pressure on Hicks. Has to be clean. Just got a handball out to McConnon. Backs into a pack. And then finds a nice little target in Goldsworthy in the middle of the ground. Scoresby looking to open up. They have to run. Poor handball to Cosentino. Had some time to pick it back up, but his kick was pretty poor as well going inside. Hicks being held onto as he has all day. Got a handball out there to Gunton. Snapping around the corner to find a teammate there in Williams.
He's been quiet today, boys.
Yeah, he has had really no influence on the game today, Mark Williams, which is really uncharacteristic for him.
Such an important kick now. 40 out, not even 30 out, I'd say. Pretty much directly in front. 9 minutes gone. Trudges in, kicks the goal. Important one for Scoresby.
Not over just yet, boys. 9 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And they know they've got a lot of work to do. Straight back to positions. 9-12-66 Boronia. Scoresby, as Gussie said, their first goal since half-time. 5-9-39. Still time. And still a bit of fight shown by the Magpies.
We just saw Wade McConnon take this mark over here. He's gone one out of the game too after that big first half, hasn't he?
And I think he started this last quarter, though, pretty well, Gussie. And it's important that a guy with that much experience kind of drives them on with that run.
100%. They'll be looking to get a clearance out of the middle here from Wade McConnon and D'Iso. Hannon and D'Iso to do battle in the ruck once again. Been a great encounter all day. D'Iso to that man McConnon, but he's overrun the footy. Great pick up there from Johnson. Johnson sends the ball long down to Baronia's forward line. Tricking the ball forward there was Dodd. But once again, Scoresby looked to rebound with a big barrel kick down the line. And a push in the back there. Umpire will pay that one.
Yeah, saw that one.
Charles it is.
Well milked there from Sean Charles. Got to move the footy here. Quickly does Sean Charles, but he's stalling. Throws the footy onto the left boot, goes wide, trying to honour the lead. And a great spoil over the back of the pack there. Super defending there from Lake, I think it was.
Slow there, Charles. He had Duncan, Brash, and a couple of others across the 50. Just didn't pull the trigger.
No.
Lake has been rock solid down back for the Hawks today. They're going to need a quick goal here, Scoresby, if there's any chance of them coming back into this game. Boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Ball's been taken out of the ruck by Hannon. Sends the ball long. D'Iso's waiting there. He's going to struggle to get him on foot. D'Iso puts tackle on. Hannon running long down the ground. Sends the ball deep. Henderson's out the back by himself. And a good strong mark has been taken. King couldn't quite get back in time.
And Gus, that's exactly what Boronia we've been wanting them to do. We've wanted them to take this side of the ground closest to us and direct the ball through the middle of the forward line, and Henderson leads into the space and takes a really good grab.
11 and a half minutes played here at Tormore Reserve. You think this goal here would put it out of reach for Scoresby. Henderson, 2 behinds for the day, comes in. Goal umpires making him work for it, touched on the line. Great defensive work there from Tyson Chapman. They need to go coast to coast here as Adam Brogsneast will kick in.
It's all legs, you reckon, there from Henderson.
Yeah, it was a tired kick, wasn't it?
Kick 35 metres. This Bronze Geese doesn't have a lot to go to.
Gee, that was a kick and
long. Owen, the target against Henderson, brought it to the back. Well done by Bolton. Brought it down for the Hawks and just tapped it deliberately towards the boundary line. Umpire. We'll throw it in.
Good little piece of experience there by Jess Bolton. Saw the pressure coming, just ran the ball over in good disguise.
70 out from the Scoresby goal. The Boronia goal, should I say, sorry, as it's tossed back in. Diezo will lead this one. Hannon leaping over the top, brought down nicely, and the handball, though, from Duncan was poor. It's been a little bit sloppy, the Scotty Duncan, as has a few of his Scoresby teammates. They trail this game by 26 points. Thrown back in. Hannon leaps all over Diezo. Umpire lets it go. Well done there, got the handball, that was McKernan. Now the runner in Bolton, finds White, he's got nowhere to go, has to go back to Geraghty. He's got a bit more time on it, dumps it far side, straight towards Bronze Geese, who's going to mop up for Scoresby as he has brilliantly all day. Great evasive work to send a few Boronia players flying, and a great kick to Cosentino, who, as you said, had to slide in and take a nice mark low. Moving this ball up to Hicks, probably his first mark for the day, Jared Hicks up forward. Has to move it quickly now. Little chipping balls all right to Krawczyk. He goes back.
This will test him, Josh.
You can hear the sounds of settle from his teammates. He is a long way out. Would have to kick from 50. Doesn't look like he wants to. Going to go for the short option. His teammate fell over as he tried to hit them, and Bolton came in with the intercept mark.
Game
Too
over.
easy. Bolton's kick. Out the back somehow, marked by Robinson, who's been superb. Takes on him, McConnon, I think it was, and absolutely left him for dead. Kick inside 50 to Henderson. Great work, Owen, coming through with a fist, and that was crucial because Henderson was away. Owen keeps it in, and now, finally, it goes out of bounds, and Robinson tells to Henderson, just take a mark like I have been all day.
Yeah, Henderson he stopped, and he probably shouldn't have done that. He needed to attack the ball a little bit more there.
Exactly right, Brash. You think now it'll be too far to come back for the Magpies. Constantino to do battle in the ruck. Sorry, Chapman, I should say. Chapman wins his first tap down for the day, trying to find his teammate there in Hicks. Hicks struggles with possession, but now it's bombed down the line for Scoresby. Out-muscled there, and probably a free kick should have been paid. In the meantime, Boronia looking to transition. Great work there from Krawczyk, left the footy behind though. Great stomping up from McConnon. Handballed back into traffic where it's all brown and gold jumpers. Great use of their cornerback out the back now. Trying to find a teammate. Good pick up there, high tackle there on Burchell. And Berthusel will have a chance to go back and kick a goal.
That was created by Mark Williams. It was a really little deft touch. He knew he was under the pump. Just tapped it into the path of Berthusel and gets a nice little free kick, but once again, got to go back and kick these goals.
9:13, 67 plays 5-9, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. This will test him here, Berthusel. And he comes from 35 metres out. Kicks an absolute shocker, falls short. Tired legs and a good strong mark taken by Jared Rutherford. He's been an anchor down back. Boronia look to take the game on plays short, and a shocking drop mark there from Leeson. He looks tired and lethargic. Should have held on to that one. We'll have a boundary throw in deep in the Scoresby forward line. You think it'd be half them to kick 6 goals here and come back, considering they've kicked 5 for the day. Not much done in the ruck there, just kind of crumbling forward. And a big strong tackle there from Diezo. If he gets fit, Josh, he could be a really solid ruckman, this Diezo.
He's been superb, but so too is Hannon, although wins a nice big fist forward. No one there for him. Well done by Bolton. Got a handball out to Lake. Got time to pick it up. He couldn't, though. Under the pump now. Still got time to find a handball out to a teammate there. Well done forward by White. Flying for that one at the back of the pack. Great contest, as you heard from Gus. It was Burgess who's back on the ground. Harry Burgess for Boronia, and I think he's gotten a free kick as well.
Yeah, gone against Milligan there for pushing the back.
Copped a nasty knock to the leg late in that third term, but still out there. Handball to White. Ring around the rosies. He tries to get around his opponent. Back to Burgess now. Little kick towards the Henderson direction, but finds the boundary line first. 28 points. The Boronia lead, 16 and a half gone, and the Hawks have really stamped their authority in this second half.
If Diezo is going to be any value to Scoresby, one of the things he's got to work on is his fitness, because he won't be able to run games out when they're under these sort of conditions.
Thrown in ball. Great roving by Godwell. Took on the tackler. Forced to get a handball off there to Casterton. Casterton goes back into traffic. This is all by hand across half forward. Godwell's kick inside 50. Chopped off too easily by Adam Bronsgeest. Definitely being one of the top 3 players for Scoresby. And with kicks like that, can still run and gun this game. Got it out to Duncan. Good handball there to Godsworthy. In fact, it's Milligan. Milligan, kick out wide. Now finds Godsworthy. Now runs forward. Kick towards the direction of Williams. Works his opponent under the ball. Now just has to pick it up and he'll run into an open goal. Fell over as he kicked, and the fall put too much pressure on the ball and he overshot it. Just a minor score. It was one of the easiest goals you could kick. Just couldn't keep his feet, Williams. And in a way, Brash kind of sums up the Magpies' day.
You said it. That's how it's played out, Josh.
27-point Boronia lead. Mark taken by White, who has been everywhere today, pushing up the ground. Goes across to Lake. Lake with a high ball towards the Robertson direction. Will he fly from the back and take another mark? He couldn't, but he was smart to bring it to ground. Now Leeson. Nice little chipping ball inside to Riposada. They're out here, the Hawks. Great handball to Bell. Running through. Kick down deep inside 50. Strong mark taken. And I think it's Burgess who missed the goal opportunity when he went off injured late in the third term. And now Harry Burgess, a strong mark from the back, will kick from 30 out directly in front to get one of his own.
And this is where the young legs came into play just at the very right time. Boronia running on top of the ground with that youthful exuberance through the midfield. Set it up beautifully, and Hannon should ice the game now.
Burgess, maybe, should ice the game.
Burgess.
Comes in, kick on the way, hits the post. Shame. Would have been a good way to cap off some great team football. Minor score. 9-14-68. Boronia still comfortable leaders over Scoresby's 5-10-40.
Yeah, Peter Brown, when he was in before the game, boys, didn't he? He was talking about the youth on the Boronia side, and sometimes it can work against you because the experienced heads are good, but when it comes to running at the end of the game...
In the meantime, Boronia send the ball forward, and a good strong mark from Brogneast out the back of the pack. He looks to find his brother at half-back flank, that he does. Ben Variety goes inbound, finds his teammate here in Duncan. Duncan on the edge of the square, goes short. Asks a lot of his team out there in Boxer. Boxer did well to take a sliding mark. Right on the paint of the centre square. Goes back to Duncan. Duncan asks to play on, swings around in his left boot, trying to find Hicks. Hicks just trying to tap the ball out to his teammate Aaron Krojnik.
That is
got a fair bit of it.
Hicks has had that tough of a day, and as a leading forward, he had no option. Was so well held by Rutherford that he had to punch himself. He couldn't even mark.
He's had an absolute shock, a Ty Vickery like you would say. Now he's got to do some ruck work. Oh, here comes Diezo out of nowhere. Diezo gives a pretty big fist, only as far as Hannon. Hannon sends the ball long down the line. Big contest here with his brother.
Where's the umpire going with that? Which way is he going?
To Boronia.
To Boronia, and it's Hannon.
And that's stiff considering that...
I might have called play on that one.
Stiff, a 25 as well.
Gee, that adds insult to wound, doesn't it?
It was stiff because Jared Hicks, he was held a little bit in that previous contest. It was definitely held more than Hannon was there, Gussie.
Anyway, Hannon goes short. Good hit up, finds a teammate there. Umpire says that Diezo ran through the mark.
Oh, they're having a mare, Scoresby.
And this will probably be put him in range here. So that's a 50-metre bonus for Luke Hannon. And Hannon might have a shot here. Well, plenty of screams for him to go short. That he does. Interesting looking kick, goes really wide. Big fist coming at the back there was Duncan. Now pressure being put on by Burgess at the other end of the ground. Kicking in danger there was Burgess.
I thought that was a very poor option then by Luke Hannon. He had two big, tall targets down in the forward line and didn't use them whatsoever.
Ball up. Half forward flank for Boronia. Hicks down the other end of the ground doing some ruck work. Barging through the pack there was Anderson. Umpire says, no thanks, mate, I'll ball it up. 21 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Boronia 9-14, 68 playing Scoresby 5-10, 40. Boronia with a snap around the corner trying to find a teammate there in Bell. Bell brought it to ground only as far as Broggs needs. This one cleared off the line, slide tackle style. And the ball's just pinballing around in front of the behind post. Almost like a bit of a scrum sort of situation in rugby, trying to get the ball off the try line. But Ben Brogneast has kept the ball across the boundary line. He's been instrumental today.
So they finally get it through for a behind. It was real cat and mouse deep in that forward line, but Bronski's kick from defence finds Duncan.
I reckon there'll be about 5 minutes left in play here.
Tops.
Duncan goes down the line to Milligan. Chipping ball. Haven't tried it too many times, Scoresby. It hasn't worked when they have. Kick up towards Ben Bronskiest. Fist out of line for a throw-in on the far wing. It's impressive work by Boronia in this final term. Put the game to bed early and can now sit back and soak up these last few minutes.
Poor goal kicking from both teams though, Josh.
It kills ya. It'd certainly be causing Brent King a few headaches as it's tossed back in. Hicks, who's had a dirty day, comes into the ruck. Duncan out to McConnon. Back to Duncan now. Swings around the left into the middle of the ground. Good mark taken there by Richards. Played on. Richards kick into the path there of a teammate. Running on nicely was Anderson. Got a couple of options. Goes towards a goal that might go all the way. It does. Great goal, Anderson.
Yeah. Contender for the Vibrae goal of the day. Took the game on there. It's a shame. Josh, haven't seen much of that in the first half and the third from Scoresby.
And a shame we haven't seen much of Mitchell Anderson at all. That's probably been the best thing he's done all day as he comes to the bench. Important goal for Scoresby. It's definitely too little too late, but 9-15-69 makes the scoreline a little bit more respectable. Scoresby 6-10-46, still trailing by 23 points. And we've gone 23 minutes here on EFL Anzac Sunday action. Division 3 football.
I just reckon one of the things that Scoresby need to look to when they go forward is maybe a little bit more leg speed through the midfield. Looked a bit slow there. A couple of players look a bit slow.
Hicks in the ruck, wins a tap down as far as a brown and gold jumper. Running out wide here is Burgess, but a good intercept play from Scoresby. They're trying to send the ball forward, but a strong mark taken there. Reading the play well was Goldsack. Goldsack goes short, trying to find his teammate here in McKernan. Yep, McKernan just trying to slow the play down a bit here for the Hawks. Can't be long left in this game. 24 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. That probably wasn't 15 metres, but the umpire says it's good enough for him. Jess Bolton takes a mark right in front of his coach. Peter Brown telling him to slow the play down. Another short, methodical kick, finds his teammate in Fairchild. Umpire says play on, not 15. Fairchild goes in the ground, asking a lot of his teammate. Good strong mark by Adam Broggies. Swings around the left boot, and finally they've had a mark inside 50. Sloppy play there from Fairchild. He's done a whole lot great work today, and Mark Williams, who's been quiet, can go back, put another goal on the board, make it a bit more respectable for Scoresby.
He's missed.
Shocking kick, rushed his kick way too much, pushed it across the left-hand side. 25 minutes played on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
22-point leaders, Boronia.
One thing you're going to realise when you're in a position like that, it's best to play the boundary line at this stage of the afternoon.
That's what Boronia will do from this kick out. Long one to the Riposada direction. Good work at the front by Ryan Hicks. Hands off and out of bounds. Boronia going to move to 2-0 to start 2017. Scoresby have shown some promising signs, but would definitely be more disappointed with some of their efforts as D'Oizo forces his man under the ruck. Hannon's been superb. Don't know how he got the handball out, but Burgess read it well. That was definitely a throw though, and Sean Bell gives away a free kick. And a 25 metre. They've been harsh on it today, these umps, but
have been consistent.
Yes,
At least
been,
10.
Yes, at least it's been consistent.
I don't care. As long as they're consistent and rewarded both ways, I'm happy with that.
Richards inside 50. Great work over the top there was Lake. Infected the spoil. Out to Bronzegeist. Now to Hicks. Really high, nothing kick, and should be an easy mark for that man again, Lake. Whereas Hicks has had a shocker, Jared Lake has been superb. Once again, he'll rebound 50. 26 minutes gone. Siren coming very soon. Robinson off hands and gave away a high tackle there. Didn't mean to, just caught Hicks in the head.
Actually, I reckon he's done not a bad job today, Robertson.
Moves it on quickly to Milligan. Plays on straight through the guts at centre half forward. Will kick towards goal. It's a mung, it's a punt, and it's easily marked, intercepted there. I think it's Leeson. And once again, another wasted inside 50 entrance for the Magpies. Leeson, little chipping ball to Goldsack. Goldsack's got options everywhere he looks. Just going to go long towards Robinson again. Flying in from the side, and Robinson's given away a free. Umpire lets it go. Hicks picked it up and bombed it inside. Williams, the marking target, is at a mark. It's been paid. It's a Boronia mark. And Diozo's given away a free kick. He's hit Bolton pretty high after that mark, and
he's fending off 3-on-1 in the brawl.
Fair enough, the Boronia players have let him know. But geez, Jess Bolton, he's just one of the many names, Brash, as he makes his way up off the deck, who has had a superb game in that defensive 50 for the Hawks.
Yeah, he hasn't really done much wrong at all. Just his experience, you know, when the game got tough, he just upped the ante, Josh, and decided that I've got to lead my side and do the disciplined things, and he's done that this afternoon.
22-point leaders. Gives off a handball, and nice kick into the middle to Fairchild, who's kicked 4 today. Provided them with a lot of run and takes off once more again. Kick towards the Godfield direction. Hannon in there too, infecting the spoil. Free kick's been pulled out again. Going to go the way of Scoresby though.
Well, there was really no advantage. They actually had the advantage there, Scoresby, but the umpire pulled it back.
Told to play on now. Little drilling kick is poor. Turned over, doesn't matter. There's the siren. And a good win for Boronia at home to move 2-0 for 2017. Final score for your Anzac Sunday clash out here at Tormore Reserve. Boronia 9-15-69. It was a half-time tied game, but some impressive kicking. 5 goals to 2 in the second half got the Hawks the win. Scoresby finish up 6-11-47. 22 points the final margin. Goal kickers for the day. 4 goals to Damon Fairchild, 2 in the first and 2 in the last. 2 goals to Rapisada and singles to Ryan White, Jake Godwin and Josh Hannon. Whereas for the Magpies, 2 goals to Ben Bronzegeist in the first. He was only a multiple goal kicker. Singles there to Williams, Gunton, Anderson and Krawczyk. And well, Brett and Brash, we expected a tight and hard-fought contest. We got that. And in the end, it was the side that could pull away with a bit more skill that ended up getting the win.
Yeah, look, I thought that at the start of the day that, you know, whether it was going to be Boronia's youth when the whips were cracking, we said there was going to be a patch that Boronia, if they could get that mini break, so to speak, that they weren't going to look back. And it was that first 5 minutes in the last quarter where they really sewed the game up and managed to control it for the rest of the afternoon.
Absolutely, you could see, we talked about it before, and as you say, and you could see that Scoresby just really ran out of steam in that last quarter, and they really just had nothing. Although credit to Boronia, I mean, they finished on top of the ground. Obviously, they play here a lot. They're used to the surface, but they looked fitter. And they look more, obviously, a bit more youthful as well. And in the end, probably a very well-deserved win. I think one of the things I just said in the broadcast was the fact that I think Scoresby might need to find just a tad more leg speed through their midfield. Their experienced guys really weren't able to hurt Boronia across the field this afternoon. For as good as the games that the 2 Bronzegeist boys and Matt Krawczyk and McConnon played, they just weren't able to hurt the opposition where it could provide, you know, definite scoring opportunities. They looked all right sort of in the first half, but certainly in the second half, Scoresby, just every time the ball was turned over, they'd get it. The transition was really quick, and they looked to have a lot more speed, certainly in the end. They do show some promise. I mean, look, they have got a mixture of experience and youth. Obviously, Brent King's obviously still got a few
a few little combinations that I think he needs to look at. But I mean, look, it's once again, it's still going to be a learning curve for them, and I think with his experience, I think Brent's going to have to sort of manoeuvre his charges where he feels they're going to be the best value on the day. He's going to be able to have to assess that, Josh.
On the flip side, Pete Brown has got his side in a nice little tight huddle out in the ground, just having a bit of a chat to them before they walk off. And look, 4 points is 4 points, but I definitely think there would have been some words in this conversation that they're having now that they were let off the hook a little bit at times, and against some better opposition would have been made to pay.
Yeah, look, and, I just think that, Boronia's star's been rising over the last 12 months. They've made a few changes. They've brought youth into the side. They've got lots of youth and exuberance coming through the reserves and under-19s, and it's a new look. It's a new look, Boronia Football Club, and with a new idea and a fresh idea. And they made great strides last year to make a preliminary final or a qualifying final.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
So to get where they were last year was an achievement in itself. But now I think they've had another pre-season under their belt, and some of the young guys now understand what's required to go to the next level. And look, they were challenged today by Scoresby. Scoresby served it right up to them.
We're going to cross down the boundary line. Commentator turned boundary right at Gus McLeod. Who you got, Gussie?
I got Jared Lake with you, mate. Really solid game down back. How's the body pulling up, mate? And obviously good to get a good result.
Yeah, the legs are just feeling absolutely dead. I was cramping up the whole last quarter, but it was really good win by the boys. So.
Scoresby really had it up to you up until half-time, mate. What did you feel the real turning point in the game was?
Well, I think it's how hard we've worked all pre-season. We've busted our asses, just working as hard as we can, doing all the running, doing the extras, training 3 nights a week, sometimes 4. So, we back ourselves in second half against anyone.
4 weeks on the track's definitely going to give you results. So, mate, get in there, sing the song, and have a good night.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Gus McLeod down there on the boundary with Jared Lake. And
well, actually, the way Jared talked about that, Josh, was the fact that really he sort of summed it up in a nutshell, because really they were running on top of the ground in that second half, and they're young guys. And in fact, he really came into the game a lot more in the second half. His first and second efforts, even though he couldn't mark it, I've squeezed him in for a vote this afternoon. Such was his impact in that, especially in that second half.
It was absolutely superb, and I think when you look at it, they would have headed into half time with a fair bit of frustration, a fair bit more to give, and as you said, they came out really strong and ran across the ground well. We'll see if we can pick up a little bit of the song. It does often break up a little bit out here at Tormore.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think we might have lost it.
Reception-wise, it's not good.
Yes, but nonetheless,
get into those concrete dressing rooms.
Yes, nonetheless, still a superb win. And to be honest, in a year where you hope to play finals, brash, you've got to win them comfortably like they did last week, but you've also got to win them ugly at times. And there was definitely some ugly football. We saw a fair few patches of repetitive turnover football, but they kept going and they kept fighting through. And like I said, they might not be entirely happy with the performance, but 4 points is 4 points, and they're 2-0. First win at home, I believe, for the year. So it's a good way to kick off the year for the Hawks.
Well, you don't learn anything about your side when you win them by 80, 90 points. You win. You learn a lot about your side when they're put under the pump for the afternoon and actually come away with a 4 or 5 goal win after being pressured all afternoon. That's the sign of where your side's at.
We're out here, of course, on Radio Eastern 98.1, just wrapping things up from Tormore Reserve, and it's been a lovely day, a gorgeous day weather-wise, and an enjoyable day for the many Boronia fans out here. And Sunday football, we've had a few games in the past on Sunday. We've got a few more, I believe, coming up this year. I think it's a good prospect that's worked, especially on this long weekend with a couple of games on, with Templestowe, of course, getting up pretty comfortably today over Park Orchards. But
what was the final score?
I'll have to double check. I'll get up on my phone as we speak. But it was a good. I guess we saw Good Friday football last week. We've got Anzac Day football on the Tuesday, and Sunday football. Anytime you can spread out the AFL action across the weekend, I think it's always a good thing. Your thoughts on that, boys?
Yeah, I don't mind the Sunday games. I quite enjoy them. I mean, Saturday's obviously the main day, but nice to come out on a Sunday. You get up on Sunday morning a bit late, and you've had a big day on Saturday, and you come out and just very cruisy, very nice.
I think the only thing, I agree. I think it's nice to to spread it out a little bit. But I think sometimes the logistics doesn't help either for the powers to be. I mean, look, South Croydon, and you have a look at their season. A couple of Tuesday games. There's no rhythm for them at the moment. Whilst it's good to, like I said, whilst it's good to have rounds like this, I think sometimes the players like certainty and they like structure, Josh.
Well said. We're going to cross down once again to our roving reporter, Gus McLeod, who's pulled another Boronia winner out of the change rooms.
I do, boys. Got a very happy captain with me. Lockie, what a cracking game of footy, and it really turned around the last half.
Yeah, it was good. Our fitness took over in third and fourth quarter, and just sort of stuck to our processes, and it was really exciting to get the result in the end. Yeah.
Obviously, your coach pulled you aside after the game. What was the real message that he drilled into you boys after the game?
Just about staying disciplined. Still a pretty young side, and they tried to be physical with us a few times. Whether within the rules or not, and we stuck, like I said, stuck to our processes and really stayed disciplined and ran over the top of them.
Your coach obviously said to us before the game that you had a massive pre-season. Do you think that was one of the reasons why you boys pulled on top today?
Yeah, we're really backing our fitness at this stage. We really put in the work over the off season, and a lot of guys doing extras to make sure that they're running out games.
Lockie, it's Josh Dorr over in commentary position, mate. Fantastic work today, and we were saying in the box just before, you had a pretty comfortable win last week, and at times a little bit ugly today. Do you learn a bit more about the strengths and weaknesses of this side from a result like today's?
Yeah, I think, like last week we played a team that is just coming to the division and probably new to it, and they'll come good later in the year. We knew that today Scoresby had picked up well and that they were going to be a good side. And we didn't expect it to be easy, but I think the resilience that we showed, and just grinding it out and making sure we stick to our process until we get over the top, and win games that we perhaps would have folded in years gone by. And so that was good.
Lockie, it's Brash here, mate.
Hey,
Congratulations on the win this afternoon.
Thanks, Brash.
One of the things you've been here, now with this new transition between, with the coaching staff and panel, it must be really good to have a bunch of younger guys, running around with you again on a Saturday afternoon with a new game plan led by a really good coach.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better, really. From a few weeks into having Brownie on board, we had the utmost confidence in what he was preaching to us, and likewise got the utmost confidence in the young group that we've got. So, couldn't be happier with Brownie and couldn't be happier with the group and the way that people are responding to what he's putting in place.
I think one of the more important things, I've been here since early this morning, and that enthusiasm seems to has gone right through the football club, through the reserves and the under-19s, and you look at both, and I look at the game style, and it looks like the whole football club is playing a brand of football, so that if changes need to be made, it's going to be a pretty seamless transition for players coming up and down.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and it's spot on. We all train together. A lot of teams split up into the different teams during the week, but we always keep the big group together. And there's guys in the under-19s and reserves, obviously, that'll play with us a lot this year. We feel like we've got a lot of depth in the club, and in years gone by, we played a lot of under-19s and younger guys to make sure they're in these sort of spots to come in and contribute now. So I think we're seeing the benefit of that.
Look, it's Brett Beston. In that first half, one of the things we noticed up here on the box was the kicking efficiency from both sides was something off. Is that something that Peter talked to you about at half-time?
Yeah, we had the turnover stat pointed out to us at half-time, and it was very prevalent to both sides. Maybe it's the layaway for the last couple of weeks and lack of touch, but I think it was pretty hot, and a lot of emotions swelling around on a day like today, with all the Anzac Day ceremony and everything. So maybe just a lot going on, but glad to see we sort of settled and really started to hit up through the middle in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, something else we talked about too was obviously you mentioned it, the heat and how the fitness levels were going to go. And you've got quite a young side this year, and in the end you ran the game out much better. You've obviously had a very good pre-season, so you'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, the run was great. So, and I think we sort of came in at half time and really backed ourselves to keep grinding out and run over the top of them. So, we'll back ourselves to run against anyone in the comp. So that's what we'll do.
Lockie, thanks for joining us too. I know it's a good way to start the year, a long way ahead. We look forward to following your progress. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks,
mate.
guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Great work there from Lockie McKernan. And Gus McLeod as roving boundary rider gets out and about, and we'll get him to come back into the studios. We time to wrap up. And Brash, we've got our we gave our Vibro goal of the day pretty early. We liked Damon Fairchild's. Yeah, the stunner in the first. We had a good one in the last as well. I think you have to lock that one in. And we're going to actually throw back down the boundary very quickly, Gus McLeod.
Happy, Coach Peter Brown, mate. Your pre-season is what your players spoke about. They got the job done for it. Do you have full belief in that?
Yeah, full belief. As I said to you before the game, it's just the running component that they do at training that I've got full confidence. Even when we were down a body on a rotation, that they're fit enough to keep running the games out. So that was evident in the last quarter. We're still running on top of the ground.
Your goal kicking might be a problem in weeks gone by. Do you think that was just Scoresby's pressure, or you guys might need to work in front of the sticks during the week?
Like I said before the game, Scoresby's a good side, irrespective of the first, second, third division. They've always have been. They're always hard at you, and there's perceived pressure. They think that, that perceived pressure, a lot of scrappy shots at goal where they actually had a little bit more time and they didn't sort of make the most of it. So, yeah, it's a bit of both. Yeah, we could have done more damage, but yeah, perceived pressure is a skill that doesn't sort of get documented, but they're always at you, always at you.
2 and Zip's a great start of the season, mate. We wish you all the best for next week.
Yeah, it's a bit better than Zip and 2 last year, but I'll take the 2 Zip any time. Yeah.
Back to you, boys.
Good on you, Gussie. Great work, and thanks to Pete there for jumping on board. Let's get to the votes as Gussie makes his way back over. Brash, we'll start with you.
Yeah, look, I'm going to give my one vote to Jared Lake. I thought his work across that half-back line, he kept them in it in the first half. Probably didn't have the amount of stats, right, kicks and handball-wise, but it was those little 1%ers, and then he came into his own into the second half. 2 votes, I've gone with Ben Robertson, the centre-half forward. In the first half, he was the only target there that kept Boronia in the contest. I thought he led well up the ground, tried to create opportunities. And 3 votes for mine. Well, look, you're always looking for a key forward, and Fairchild was that player this afternoon. 4 quality goals, 2 of them for goal of the day. And look, for mine, Damon Fairchild gets my 3 votes this afternoon.
Brett Beston?
I gave my 1 to Damon Fairchild. Actually, he got the 4 goals, but I thought he played particularly well, obviously. So they had a big 2 votes. I'm just looking on my list. So I gave to Jared Lake. I thought he was very, very good.
Yeah.
And I liked Josh Hannon's game, so I gave him the 3.
Well said. I went 1 vote to Damon Fairchild. Superb goals and a good knack for where they were. 2 votes. I went to Jared Rutherford as a defender myself. Always like squeezing a defender into the votes. He was superb on a pretty tall target in Jared Hicks. And I gave my 3 votes as well, as you did, Brett, to Hannon. I thought he was superb. Luke Hannon, that is, running through the
Luke
midfield.
Hannon, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we were on the same page. Yeah, he was superb in the midfield in that second half. But a very tough game to spread your votes. Finally, Gus McLeod.
Yeah, really quickly, Adam Brognies, 1 vote for me, was a shining light for Scoresby. Down back, I gave 2 votes to Jared Lake. I thought he was sensational. I really thought Damon Fairchild opened the game up for Boronia. He got best on ground for me.
So there you go. Tobin Brothers Player of the Day goes to Damon Fairchild. He goes home with a swag of rewards. Thank you out here. Time to wrap it up. Thanks, of course, to all the EFL team, I should say, out here. Lee Green on the camera, Giggles Pest, who was a pest all afternoon, but made some very good calls, I should say. So continues to give us good expert analysis from the side door of the caravan. Wayne and Brett, superb special comments. Some good chemistry floating around, and a good game out here. So thank you very much to both of you guys.
Our pleasure.
Fantastic. Thanks, boys.
Gussie McLeod, our first calling gig together. Thought we did pretty well. Might keep BWS out of a job. What do you think?
Stay in Las Vegas, BWS.
He's listening. You know he's listening.
And well done to you, Josh. You made a great job.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for joining us on 98.1. Stick around next week, of course, for the huddle. We'll be back on Saturday as Boronia get up out here at Tormore Reserve on a fantastic Sunday for the Hawks.